clack, brick stack. Lights up, we're back. It's Lego Law, Life, and Libations. Everybody sing that. MLS on the screen, tiny top, big grin. Interviewing guests while the bricks roll in. The hollow weights on the shelf in gold. Helmets on the minifig, stories being told. Lego Law, Life, and Libations. Build it up, then pass the cup. Lego Law, Life, and Libations. Sip, sip, snap, snap, never growing up. From the books to the builds to the big debates, we're laughing while the hollow waits. Here comes Wendy, straight out of Cali's son. All the fat, rich threads, yeah, she gets things done. Sipping something fizzy in a Lego glass, dropping little secrets and we all just laugh. Who's on YouTube? We are. Who's got law in a Lego bar? Stack that statue, click that brick, ask one question, make it stick. Is this life? Is this play? We just build it anyway. Lego Law, Life, and Libations. Build it up, then pass the cup. Lego Law, Life, and Libations. Sip, sip, snap, snap, never growing up. From the screen to the scene to the streaming dates, we're singing while the hollow waits. Lego la 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 la. Lego Law, Love. Lego la 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 la. Lego Law, Lego Law, Lego Law, Lego Law. Lego Law, Life, and Libations. Yeah, pass the cup. Lego Law, Life, and Libations.
Woo!
Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I had to pull this chat up real quick. I still can't get over how perfectly catered this scandal is to this channel.
Right?
It works out really well.
You know, if you do a Lego and Law channel for long enough, you're bound to get some overlap with an actual, scandalous legal situation. That's amazing. That's amazing. But welcome, Benjamin, Gorman. We are still waiting on Crystal. She is running a bit late, coming home from work, but we thought we'd get going anyways.
And actually, I could take a second to address something that's been really bothering me the last couple of days.
Tell
I
us.
don't know how or why our intro song is so divisive amongst you guys. 2/3 of my chat or my comments rather, are all about the intro. Two out of every 3 of those hate it because it's too long. Some of them say it's amazing. Some of them say it's amazing, but it's too long. What do you guys want from us?
We actually had a fight in chat once on our exit song. There were people arguing. Someone was saying, this is great. You need to drop this just as a standalone video or video so I can enter it into my playlist. And then other person was like, really? It's crap. I don't know what it is, but hey, I like it.
Who's the artist? Who did you guys get to do the music?
Well, it was Artlist.
It's AI slop.
It's AI slop.
Yeah, it turned out really well.
It did. You put some prompts in there, and I said, and there's this rich California girl that likes wine, and it sort of does its thing, and then you can tweak it a bit. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, but welcome, sir. Welcome to Lego Law, Life, and Libations. How have you been as of late?
This has all been wild. I mean, lately doing much better. Like things are, the graph is going in the right direction. This has been a miserable experience for a year. And then once a certain someone's amazing documentary dropped and people started, became aware of it and became incredibly supportive, I'm like, oh, now we've got an army behind us. This is going to work. But it was awful. I mean, you folks know, attorneys have said to us, we were essentially in what they called the donut. Like, under 10,000 small claims, you can take care of it.
Right.
Millions, no problem. And a lot of them said, a couple $100,000 store, sorry, it's not worth my time. And so we had the hardest time just finding an attorney. And then, we found one who was like, you can't afford me. Like, it was like, she was great. It would have been wonderful, but she was right. And so finally finding a good attorney willing to take our case and file our lawsuit.
It almost needed this
Yes.
to be important enough and big enough to justify the cost of an attorney, right?
Well, yes, and one of the kind of ironies of the whole thing is, we would have been, and this speaks to BAM's strategy, we would have been fighting over the value of the store alone. Well, I mean, the defamation was largely carried out by Brandon Best and Josh Johnson. Now it's because of, they're going on podcasts and defaming us over and over and over. And so they're making it a much bigger case for themselves in terms of the damages phase too. So it's like they can't help themselves.
So I wanted to back up. I have, I've been watching all the videos. I've been reading all the lawsuits. I've been reading the contracts, and I just want to make sure I have sort of a clear understanding of like the timeline. So Crystal managed that store before you guys owned it, correct?
Yes. So she was the manager for, and I'm going to get the years wrong myself, so nobody hold me to this, but if I recall correctly, she was the manager there for about a year before somebody else at one of the managers of one of the other stores said you're doing really well. You should consider becoming a franchisee. Then she reached out to her direct supervisor, who's somebody who's no longer there, who she had a really good relationship with. And so she's like, I won't pull that person into it. They don't work for BAM anymore. Sure. And shared this idea. And that person was like, yes, you should absolutely look into it. And so we kind of, figured out how could we do the financing. And that's one of the things that folks ought to know is when they say, oh, you owe all this money, it's like you got a house and 2 days later they repossess it and say, you owe us all this money for the house. Well, that's because it was mortgaged. It was just mortgaged through them, right? So
and essentially seller financing, if you want to think about it from a mortgage standpoint. Yeah.
Yes. And so, and within their contract, they have all these fines and stuff. So when they say this is how much we owe them, no way. Like that way, we would contest that. But
there's a
so then we had it for like a year.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead.
There's another YouTuber, allegedly a former owner, that's kind of come out in the last couple of days, and his story is almost identical to your guys's.
As far as how he was treated by corporate and all of that.
Yeah.
Well, and here I am speculating, so I'll be very, very careful, but I do want viewers to consider what a beautiful money printing machine this franchising is. Mm-hmm. If you can make your money not by producing a product, not by producing a service, right? You just say, hey, you can put our branding on your store. Already it's a great money-making scheme, right? They're not having to do that work. They did it once, right? And then from then on, they're just printing money. Well, if you can compound that by writing into the contract some, provisions that allow you to go gotcha and take those back and then resell them again, wouldn't that be an amazing money-making scheme if you were doing this over and over and over? Right. And so I don't know how many times, and we may never know how many people out there didn't do what we did. We said, no way, we're fighting it. But how many people heard, Kai McAllister say to them, we're going to ruin your lives if you try and fight us, and went, fine, we'll just sign the thing over. And they're just gone into the ether. Maybe they don't even pay attention. They don't even know this whole thing's going on. And they gave up their stores, and then BAM was able to resell those stores. And it becomes, we take the profit on the first sale, we take the store back, we sell it again. We take, it'd be like repossessing cars and then reselling them, right? It's an amazing model. So do I know that they were doing that frequently? No. I am suspicious that we may not be the only ones out there that this has happened to.
Well, it is a closely held company, so that stuff wouldn't readily be available. However, it might be available now that there's litigation involved and you have discovery and things like that. Especially with your case, one of the arguments that you make is essentially that, which you just said in your complaint. And you could open up discovery to see if they're doing it to other people. So that's kind of scary for a privately held company to have to all of a sudden reveal all of its financials, especially in the midst of all of this.
Yeah.
So again, with the whole PR thing, I don't know why they're not bending over backwards to try to settle. And I'm sure you can't talk about it if they have, but
no,
they haven't.
They have not. I mean, we have said to them repeatedly, like, we're willing to meet, we're willing to talk, let's sit down, let's figure this out. And
they haven't even tried. Nothing.
We have not felt that their attempts have been in good faith.
Okay, that's fair.
They're like, maybe we'll meet with you, give us the following. And we're like, no, if we want to go into discovery, let's go into discovery.
It sounds familiar, right?
Yeah.
It does sound a little familiar. It's something that we were talking about last night a little bit, maybe.
Oh, really?
Well, we did a stream. We did a stream where we were going through a hypothetical scenario to determine whether or not BAM was actually in violation of federal RICO. And based off of the statements that were made, the lawsuits and the statements that were filed, and then what was revealed in Reckless Ben's video, as well as CoffeeZilla's video, and then another former franchise owner's story. It seems to be sort of a pattern, like you were just saying, might exist. But so when Crystal was the manager, was it corporate owned?
Beforehand, it was, let's see, it had been corporate. Yes, it was corporate owned when she was first hired. So somebody had owned it.
They took
and again, I may get the whole chain wrong here, but and if I do, and Chris is like live streaming in her car as she's stuck in traffic, she might be screaming,
at you. Yeah.
But I hope I'm getting this right, Chris. So that it was owned by someone, that person retired, then it was corporate owned. Then they brought in a different manager that before Chris. Then they brought Chris in because they didn't like what was going on in that previous situation. And she's a very good manager. And so they were like, wow, you're a rock star. You should, be running the place, and moved her into that position, which makes the whole notion that she was doing anything wrong. Like, really, then why did you promote her right away? Right. She was, give her all these kudos at your conference and stuff. Like, she was doing a really good job.
Wait. There's a conference?
They have a BAMCon annual franchise.
Do you do a cheer where you spell out the letters?
Go. So I don't know.
We need to figure this out.
Ceremonies have candles, and they, I don't know what happens at BAMCon.
Do they designate a BAM queen? Do they designate a BAM queen that has all power?
This is starting to sound a little more cultish.
It's real.
Someone had brought up the idea in a different chat that maybe this is some sort of MLM sort of scheme kind of thing, multi-level marketing and pyramid scheme.
Have you seen the footage of their other company? By
the way, you're from Michigan, sir.
I am from Michigan. That's where I was born. Yeah.
So you know about Amway.
I am. Yes, I am aware. Yes.
So that's what I was originally thinking was, Amway sort of thing, where when you said that they had a conference and they do these sort of like, things.
Well, and there are those companies that are, they are legal, but we would all go. I mean, what's the Tupperware that you sell to people in their homes, and the makeup. People who do the makeup thing.
Avon,
and so, yeah, and so they're legal. Like they've survived court challenges. They're businesses, but they can get. I don't want to use the word culty, but they can get like quasi-religious, right?
So there, I before the stream started, when we were waiting to see if Crystal was going to be able to show up, I had talked to you about this other guest we had on.
She is showing up. That came out.
Yeah, she is coming.
No, I know, but if she was going to show up on time is what I was thinking, because the traffic and all of that. But we were talking about Sean Munger, who is another YouTuber, great historian. He actually he has a whole video. It's like 3 hours long about Amway and all of that. You might want to check it out. I was trying to pull it up, but I can't.
Well, I saw somebody's video yesterday. I'm trying to remember her name, where she did kind of a deep dive into one of their other companies, this Legally Mine,
Legally Mine, yes.
And
Speaking of,
you are talking about, I believe, the madam that I met today and became quite close friends with in a matter of minutes. Her name, I believe, is BJC Live
Yes.
Show.
Yes.
Yes.
So folks should check hers out. I mean, it's long. She does a deep dive, but I mean, that kind of model of like, we come in and we sell you on the franchise, and then we take you to a conference, and then, you know, it's very much like Legally Mine. You know, they were doing pitches on the dental cruise for dentists in Utah. You know, that this.
Did you by chance catch her stream today?
No.
okay, so this is what she brought up in today's stream, which is this gigantic RICO lawsuit.
Shout out to BJ for sending us this. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
it's a matter of time before we collab.
Wondering if you were aware of this, because
I am not.
Yeah, because this is a huge
we thought
RICO
this
lawsuit
was interesting,
involving essentially MLMs and scams and stuff. Kind of a lot of what was depicted that BAM might actually be doing, at least as it was depicted in the Reckless Ben video, where, you know, it's not us, it's these other franchisees, it's this LLC, you're suing the wrong LLC, we have no liability here. It's this kind of thing that they essentially this particular lawsuit is alleging. Well, Valhalla can talk about it more because he was sitting through the whole live stream reading it. But it's essentially it's a scam where they were buying in real property and selling you basically a get rich quick scheme to invest in real estate. That's what this lawsuit has to do with. But that is
who were the defendants in that one?
So many of them.
It's Legally Mine LLC, but it was known as a different name. What's the? Give me 2 seconds.
Veil Legal.
Legal.
No, Veil Legal PLLC. No, Veil Corporate LLC. That was the name of Legally Mine at the time, and then they changed the name.
Which is also Legally Mine is also no longer the name. He changed it apparently the day that Reckless Ben's video dropped.
Wow.
Yeah. And so wondering if there was some sort of cross investment in maybe this this entity, this Legally Mine / Veil LLC / whatever it's called now, might be somehow involved with Brick and Minifigs Corporate. Now we're just speculating because we don't know. Right. But there's a lot of similar actors. There's a lot of similar actions being taken. And we don't know the outcome of this case, actually.
This case, yes, we do.
Oh, do we? I thought you
said
we didn't.
No. This case was dismissed at the district level, I believe, but not all of it was dismissed. They said that this holds merit in this aspect. Not so much. So it was just pared down and it's still working its way through the system. Assuming that they're going to ever refile, right? I don't think that one's going to be refiled. The other case that they're
refiled, as in this was not brought by the defendants. It was civilly. This is criminal.
No. This is civil. In the Eastern District of Missouri. This one is brought. There was a Michigan-based one too, right?
That one is way more interesting because it's still active.
Okay.
And that one, again, it's the Veil LLC or Legally Mine, that whoever's running that thing.
So I guess my question for you is were you aware of any of these connections or any of the stuff when you guys were, when Crystal was employed, or you guys were getting the offer, or any of this?
Not a bit. And Chris loved when she was managing there. It was like the dream job, right? Hey, I get to work with young people and collectors and Lego all day long. Like, this is the greatest thing. And so when they came to us and they were like, hey, would you like to own it? We didn't do the kind of due diligence that now I certainly in retrospect wish we'd done, because it had always been a positive experience, right? Working with Bricks and Minifig seemed so great. And somebody in the chat said, I feel sorry for the people who've just purchased franchises, because there are a lot of them. They've started like 200, and I share that. I mean, folks need to understand, like, when you sign that thing, there are all these penalties and like, you know, if they tried to right now to go, oh, this is really bad, short of expensive legal action to try and break that contract, they can't just leave. And so I'm sure there are some of those folks who are feeling really trapped by the costs, because basically the way it's set up is like, you will owe us these fees, you know, for the next 5 years. But if you leave early, you owe them to us all at once. Well, if somebody's just started their franchise, they don't have all of their royalties for the next 5 years in their couch cushions. And so those folks are going, I'm stuck.
I have so many questions for you. I want to ask one real quick, and then I want to get back to the timeline if I may. But have you, and you don't need to mention names or even answer the question if you don't want to, but have you spoken with other prior or current franchise owners?
I have not. I understand that some have reached out to Chris. I don't know if she has spoken, if she's replied. We've been trying to be so careful because we know like Bam is going to try and get our phone records. Bam is going to try and get everything. So we're, and we're also being really cagey when, somebody reaches out and says, hey, we want to have you on our show or, whatever. We're like, we're going to do our homework and find out what kind of show this is, because we know from their leak that they're out there getting, hiring people to shill for them. So we've been pretty cautious. Even if somebody did reach out and say, I'm a former, disgruntled BAM store owner, we would go, were you really? Like
right. So we made it past the vetting process. That's good to hear.
Yes. This show, we were like, the whole a legal Lego store, Lego show. It is too perfect. Like this.
I know, right? It is
ideal. Yeah. This one we jumped at. Yeah. Well, nice. This one we were like, we wanted to get on earlier, but we had told Coffee, we'll wait until, because we didn't want to spill stuff that he was going to spill. Right.
Sure.
We didn't want to, undermine.
We didn't know about the U-Haul truck until Coffee.
Yep.
We had heard. There was a rumor out there, or there was like a one offhand comment about a U-Haul truck, but there was really nothing else made of it until CoffeeZilla's video. And then it was all of a sudden there actually was a U-Haul truck.
Right. And that's a great example of one of those things where they've just stuck their foot in it. I mean, we knew there was a U-Haul truck. We saw it that night, but we didn't think it was we just thought, isn't this sketch, right? This is really terrible that this guy showed up in a U-Haul truck. But then denying it made it worse. Like if they, they could have just said, "Oh, he showed up in a U-Haul. We didn't know that." And instead, like going, "No, there was no U-Haul. He showed up in a rental car." No. And so then getting caught in a lie, like don't lie. And if you don't know, it's okay to say I don't know.
But it was earlier. It was in October, and it didn't go to the store. And then they're like, "But we found a U-Haul like on that night." Well. There was that U-Haul too, but that was for a camper trailer. It just didn't make any sense.
Oh, really? We didn't know that. Like, it's okay to. I want to be like, Ammon, Matt. It's okay to say I don't know. Like,
right.
you don't have to.
They just.
I've got a buddy. Sorry, I've got a buddy named Steve Gosney, and he puts it better than anybody. If you can't tell the truth, at least don't lie.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the best way.
Yeah.
So getting back to the timeline, I kind of want to establish the timeline. So you guys buy the store or buy the franchise in, is it November of 2023 or when was that?
No, let's see. So it's a process with all the paperwork. I think it was official in January of 2024.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's right. But we had been kind of in talks with them and, everything going back and forth. But I think it was, if I'm remembering correctly, it was January of 2024.
So January of 2024, you take ownership. When does Brian appear with his Lego? And when do you guys start talking about the consignment?
I wish I could remember when. I remember it as kind of a writer, right? I remember it as a story. So I remember when Chris came home and was so excited because this super nice guy with this amazing contract had, and the way the whole thing went down is cool too.
Like Willy Wonka.
So he comes in and he just wants to get pricing. Like, what do you think this is worth? And so she's not, she's not trying to lowball him or whatever. She's just being nice. And so she gets to talking with him, and he so appreciated that for free she was willing to gab with him for hours, whatever, about what this might be worth, that then when it came around time to think about consignment, he was like, I trust her. Right. So because she'd been fair and honest with him from the jump. So what an awful experience for him to start out with somebody where he's going, this is a person I trust who is honest with me, and then it gets taken from her and into the hands of people who are not. I mean, he has had the worst experience.
So, hello. How are you?
Sorry.
That was what the dog was
fine.
They have to announce every time somebody's at the door.
And they can hear my heels clicking down the hallway. So
They're doing their job. That's their job, right?
Yes, exactly.
Living in downtown Portland, you never know when you're going to get stuck on behind a crash on I-5 or behind a train. Today's
Great.
Sorry about that.
Well, luckily,
No
worries at all. Luckily,
I will admit
you weren't involved.
I was watching the stream in the car in
Not
stop
watching,
traffic.
just listening.
I was listening to the stream in the car in stopped traffic. So
Yeah.
So how many things did Benjamin get wrong?
Yeah.
As far as
No.
details?
I mean, I think you did pretty well.
Oh, good.
I think you did. I did tell him because he was silent partner and supportive spouse, right? But day to day operating was me. He had his own full-time job.
So what I was asking is when what we're trying to establish a timeline. So you guys took the franchise, its official was like January 2024, is that right?
February 3rd, 2024.
4. Oh, was it 2023?
2023.
That's yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they brought me in. They brought me in as a manager in, I want to say maybe March of 2022.
Yes.
Because I managed. Well, they brought me on as assistant manager.
I explained that.
Yeah, of in about March. Promoted me to manager in like 2 months. Flew me out to Utah to do management training for a week. And then, managed it and consistently increased the every monthly sale. And then, we bought it. We signed the paperwork and the store became officially February 2nd or 3rd. I don't remember the exact.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 2023. And then when does Brian come to you with the consigned?
Oh boy. We signed the consignment agreement. I just went back and looked at my actual signed agreement. We signed the agreement January. I just looked at it today and I've already forgotten. January 1st, I think, or 31st. January of 2024.
Okay.
But I actually picked up the first few sets from his dad's house to take to Rose City Comic-Con. To do kind of like a soft, it was basically like
test.
Take a few of them and see if people are actually interested. And that Rose City Comic-Con that year was in 2023, would have been September, I think, which is why people are really confused about why there's a 2-month gap in his payments. And that's just because we started selling them in September. And so we didn't start the monthly payments for 3 months so that we could, catch up. So, yeah.
Okay. So much like payroll.
Work. I'm a bit discombobulated.
We just threw you straight into an interview.
We're so chill here.
How about this? Let's step
chill
back for a moment. Normally what we do in these shows is we talk about what we're building.
We haven't done that yet. That's a mistake.
Yeah, so let's pull you guys up full screen. Show us what you're building.
Okay. I am very excited about this. So, as I mentioned, I'm a teacher. So, I got the Balrog set because, of course, you shall not pass. Right? Right?
That's good.
So I'm very
I like it.
stoked about that one.
Apropos for the end of the school year too. Love it.
Yes.
I will say I'm more jealous of Crystal set.
I am too.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That's all you should be. I mean,
Yeah, that's pretty
Come on.
awesome.
Team
We're
Ewok.
Star Wars
I'm Team
nerds.
Ewok.
That's really
I
cool.
am 100% team Ewok, and I'm not saying there are parallels with what is currently happening in our life right now with the Ewoks. However,
Did you just call us a bunch of Ewoks? Is that what just happened there?
I mean,
We
I'm
are
You're
the
so
Ewok Army.
cute.
listen, I'm cute, I'm cuddly, I
Yeah.
may stab, may not for legal purposes, definitely wouldn't stab anybody. But I would like to point out, without the Ewoks, the Empire wins. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
Love it.
I am team Ewok all the way.
Love
Nice.
it.
Valhalla, what are you building?
I am building
Do my
Toothless.
job.
I saw that one.
One
Oh, I love that.
Oh, that's
One of the
amazing.
cutest damn little dragons I've ever seen.
Oh, he's so cute.
That is very cool.
I love
He
the
is.
dragon.
Let me pull
David.
myself up.
What are you?
Valkyrie
no,
wanted that one, so we're building that one for her.
David,
today.
what are you building?
I am almost done with my Mario Kart that I started like when we started talking about the bricks and minifig scandal. I've been slowly building it. Normally I do a set per stream, but this one was kind of big. And then I actually have this one. If I finish it, I'm gonna start this one.
Ooh,
So
cool.
the
That one
bomber.
was fun.
Yeah,
That one
Love
was a fun build.
I got to do a Star Wars one, right? But then I kind of want to really finish the set, so I'm working
And
on
for
that.
those of you who are new to the channels, to David and Valhalla's channel, I'm Wendy H, and I am the MC, and I do not build. Normally, I do not build Lego because I am pulling up chats and interacting with our beautiful, awesome guests. And my job really is to keep track of chat and get your questions answered. And I promise we will get to them in the order they came. And super chats always come first because we want to honor the people that spent their hard-earned money. I mean, it's a lot, and we appreciate that.
Do we have some super chats probably stacked up? We want to go through.
We do have some stacked up. Should we go
Yeah,
first?
while Crystal's getting settled, we can do that.
All right, cool. Awesome. Is that okay with you guys? All right.
Oh yeah.
So Beijing Gay 946 is a YouTube member. Thank you so much. We appreciate. We've got a lot of new memberships tonight. We appreciate you, and also sent $1 super sticker. Thank you so much. And Stray is a new member on a channel, which is crazy because Stray's been with us for years. We love
No,
you.
that's probably my Lego Law Life and Libations channel,
Oh,
which is
cool,
recently
cool.
monetized.
Oh, you're right, because you told me that
That's
earlier.
true. That's
Okay.
true. We did just get it monetized.
We sure did.
We
Thank
did.
goodness. It's about time. Savvy
Thank
Turtle for the
you.
$20 super chat. Welcome back, by the way. Let's go, fam. And
I saw that one. That was before we went.
I love it. That was even before we started. Scott Wade 3904. Hi, Scott, for $2 super chat. If we give you money, will you start the stream? Well, we started a little
We
late.
did.
So
We did
Crystal,
start.
Yeah, we did.
started a little late.
It was because of that $2 Canadian that we did start. Just saying.
That's
Just
right.
because I'm fighting to take down a major corporation doesn't mean I don't still have to work a
Yeah.
40-hour-a-week job. So,
But
Imagine
it means
that,
you have to work more of the 40-hour-a-week job,
right?
yeah.
Yes. Yes. It's
Fortunately,
not
my bosses are like super understanding.
Remember, like we just had this video drop, and our lives are being turned upside down again. They're
Yeah.
like, you can take off a little.
Oh, the,
Yeah.
Very cool.
the conversation with my boss, because I'm in management there, the conversation with my boss of going, if I get doxxed in my job, I might have to take a leave of absence was a really fun conversation to have.
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm
gosh, that's
sure.
nuts.
Coming in, a coworker saying, oh my gosh, I saw you online.
Oh, there'll be a lot of that tomorrow.
Weird.
I know, right? $5 super chat. Thank you, Beijing. Somehow a crippling addiction to legal YouTube channels missed my 2026 bingo card. And
Right.
I'm not ready to give up the needle just yet. Thanks, Reckless Ben.
I do fall asleep listening to coverage of this story now. I used to fall asleep listening to like other weird random things, but now it's all this.
I get to fall asleep to you and Valhalla texting 40 times a night about.
No. That's YouTube. No.
Oh, they also wake me up, Crystal. They also wake me up at 4
Well,
o'clock my time.
I
Well, don't
can't
live
help
so
it.
far to the west, and there wouldn't be a problem. If you were just on the East Coast,
We're texting at normal time.
exactly.
They call it the
If
real
you guys
time.
are both East Coast time, and are you West Coast?
I'm in California, yes.
Oh yeah, you're Pacific.
Yeah, I'm your neighbor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we get done with one of these streams.
Oregonian. Yeah.
Valhalla and I are like, it's midnight, it's so late. And then Wendy's like, all right, I'm off to dinner.
Oh, he's regularly up till 2 or 3 in the morning, and I'm a solid 8:30 is my bedtime.
Yeah, I kind of live on East Coast time. Now that I think about it, like,
You do, yeah.
It really is the best time, if we're
It
being
is. It
honest.
is.
When
It is.
I'm on
oh
the
wait,
East
I'm the
Coast,
opposite. I'm on Hawaiian
I'm
time,
golden, honestly.
right? Because I'm staying up that
You're
much later.
you're still on Spain time.
Yeah, I might be.
Oh, well, let's just go to Spain.
I got questions about that. We'll get to
Yeah.
that too.
Okay, let me
Oh
get
yeah.
through.
Well,
Oh wait, go ahead.
maybe I should just start out real quick. Did you in fact steal a bunch of Lego and flee the country to Spain? Is that what?
Listen, if I had stolen enough Lego that it was worth fleeing the country to go live in Spain, I wouldn't be back in the US right now.
Right.
Well, can you
Also, the
prove
people who have this theory, like, it is, if you're gonna steal something and go overseas, the amount, just space wise, can anybody imagine? Like,
Right.
hey, we're
Put
sneaking
it in your
through,
carry-on.
the airport
customs?
with 3 U-Hauls worth
We-
of like.
We took a suitcase of our clothes and 3 dogs and 2 cats.
We each had a suitcase. So,
Like, yeah,
no, we did not take Legos
no.
with us.
And
Well, I
to also-
imagine maybe you were rescuing them and taking them back home to Europe. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
to clarify something that has been brought up. We did not decide to move to Spain until November 6th. And we moved January 15th. We flew out
Very fast.
very quickly for, I think you can probably presume the reasons based on the dates around that. So we did not choose to fly because they took our
Right.
store.
Right. Notice
right?
that timeline. We chose to leave.
We chose to leave, and then they took our store.
and
Well, you had said that you had made the plans to leave and that you had reached out to them, to BAM corporate, indicating that you wanted to be done operating the store for whatever reason, and that you wanted to sell it, right? That was your
No.
original.
And that's the key. They've been saying a couple of times in a couple of their things, they've said abandon.
Yeah,
We
we were planning
never
on
said we were going
fleeing.
to abandon the store. We reached out and we were
Yeah.
like, can we talk about, because we even had heard from folks who might have been potential franchisees, and we were like, can we talk about selling? And they have the right to be the first buyers.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, we're going to sit down with them for a conversation about maybe corporate buying it or somebody we know buying it. No, there was no meeting like that.
Well, and the other part of that is we signed a 5-year franchise agreement in 2023
Right.
dates. And so we were still within that 5 years. And there's language within the franchise agreement about how to exit before that without all those fines. So that first outreach was literally, can we sell? Can we exit our franchise agreement? Because if
because
not,
that would
we
have
have
been
to
a way.
revisit all of our plans.
It's like people that enter into commercial lease agreements for
Yeah,
5 years. And if
exactly.
you want out early, if you find a new tenant,
Yeah.
that's an easy way to get out.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And that was what that first outreach, and that was in that was like, I think I want to say like November 8th, November 11th. It was I have it in my phone. I saved the call log. Was a 6-minute phone call with Kai McAllister saying, hey, my husband and I have this thing. We have an opportunity to move to Europe. I'd like to talk about that. And then a couple of days later, I got a message from them saying, we're going to set up a meeting on November 14th in 10 a.m. And then Brandon shows up at 5:30, 5:45. And that meeting was, we think the best option here is to do like a mutual separation. Corporate will step in and buy the store back.
And then he shows up and goes, and we're giving you nothing.
Yeah.
Get out.
Waits until 6, and I lock the door and turn off the open sign, and then says, okay, now hand me your keys.
It was very
So
much.
he stayed there for while you guys were still open and just sort of pacing around.
He showed up and just made like small talk with me. I didn't really think anything of it because they had said, we have this guy from Eugene. He's thinking about opening a franchise. He's going to come by tonight and just take a look. And, at 5:30, there were no more customers in the store. It's so funny because I wish I had more video from that night, but we had cameras. I know. Well, so there's 2 security systems in the store. There's a hardwired Lorax system that corporate set up before I ever started working there.
Ooh.
That I can't access.
But they still
Wonder if
can.
we'll ever see that video.
They have it. That'll
doubt
be
it.
part of our discovery. And then after every break-in that we had, I would add more Ring cameras to address those weak points. right? And so the Ring cameras were my own personal purchase and under my own personal email, like my own account, not the store's account. So, but Ring cameras only record in like 30 to 45-second clips when they detect motion. And so when you're walking back and forth through that store, it picks up part of it and then stops recording. So I managed to get, and I only downloaded that night what I thought I would need to help Brian if it became an issue. That's why I have Ben and I leaving the store, what time we left the store, and having that conversation about the consignments and printing the tickets. The fact that I even did that was, but Brandon and I talked for, a half an hour. We made small talk about the consignment. And I was telling him about, here's how we identify these sets and these minifigures. Here's how we bring them into the system. He was just asking me questions about it. And then he watched me pull sets down from the shelves, load them in our little rolling cart, and take them back into the back room. We had a whole, and I wish I had any of that on film.
But we can get it in Discovery. They should have.
If Lorax had still retained it, but it's been 2 years, so of course they've been delaying for.
I would assume that all of that footage is gone.
I have a couple of quick questions. One, people want to know about the bird. What happened to the bird?
Yes.
Did they take your bird to the pound? Did they do?
I don't know.
Sadly, we don't know.
As we were leaving, anybody that knows me in real life, we have a rescue husky wolf mix. We have 2 puppies. I've rescued, I don't even know how many dogs throughout the span of my life. I grew up in a horse 4-H family. We grew up, I love animals. Ben knows I would bring in every single abandoned animal that I could find if I was allowed to. He knows if I find a baby squirrel or a raccoon on the side of the road, it's coming home with me.
Luckily, the dogs would take care of that. So
I was going to say.
It wouldn't last long.
Breakfast.
Doesn't mean I wouldn't try.
She would try.
So the notion that I would say something like it's your problem now is offensively laughable.
Right.
And if they wanted to prove such a statement was made, they have the video.
Yeah.
The video.
So I had my car in the parking lot, right? And I had no room for the bird cage. You can see the size of that cage in that video and in the funnily enough, the video that Brandon provided to CoffeeZilla, I simply told him I could not fit it in the cage or in the car. And there was a whole conversation as part of that consignment thing where Kai is telling me if the consignment agreement is between you personally and Brian, you can take all of his stuff with you. If it's between you and the LLC, corporate is assuming ownership of that LLC and that stays there. And I was told that applied to everything in the store. I bought the store.
From a legal standpoint, right?
Yeah.
If someone comes into me, by the way, I'm an attorney. I don't know if you guys knew that, but from a legal standpoint, the question I have is, okay, if they're assuming the LLC, there should be documentation showing that the membership of that LLC is being transferred to corporate and then all parties sign and things like that. Is there such a document?
Not that I have been able to pull up on the Oregon Secretary of State website.
And not that we signed.
Signed.
So as the seller, I would imagine that's, again, I'm not an Oregon attorney, but I would have to imagine that the seller would be the crucial party to sign that.
Yeah.
So
we didn't sign anything.
Okay.
Nothing.
Nope.
We didn't sign their termination letter. We didn't sign anything. I've spoken to, as of now, 4 previous franchise owners that all had their situation end before ours, very similar to ours. You guys have all seen the owner from Florida. I haven't actually spoken to him myself.
Yeah.
That happened after ours. But the ones that I've spoken to before us, they were intimidated enough that they willingly signed that termination agreement and said, we can't afford. They all went into debt. Some of them lost their houses because they went into debt to open the stores, and they could not imagine. 2 of them have told me we could not afford to go in any further debt. It's been 4 years. One of them is still trying to rebuild their life. We did not sign that. So
when you first thinking about selling the store and everything, did you reach out to Brian and let him know?
So I didn't. And this question has been come up a lot. So our consignment agreement, there's a lot of things in hindsight I would have done differently, going all the way back to February 3rd and not signing that freaking agreement. So our
You mean the franchise agreement, right?
The franchise agreement, yeah,
Okay.
not the consignment agreement. So our consignment agreement was for 1 year. So it was set to expire on January 31st, 2025. So my plan before we had decided to move was we were either going to return everything unsold to him, and then the store personally would buy anything that had payments down on consignment. We would buy them on layaway.
Yeah.
We would buy them at that top price so that the store owned them and we could continue the layaway. Brian would have the choice of either signing a new consignment agreement and continuing it, or ending the agreement and getting all of his stuff back. And then everything would have been reconciled within my POS system, my spreadsheet. That would have been just fine in a month and a half, right? Yeah. So because we decided, let's see, we made the decision to move on November 8th. November 6th. I told corporate on, I think the 8th or the 11th, I have it in my thing. And Brian was coming in to pick up his next payment on November 15th. And I had the meeting scheduled with corporate on November 14th. So I didn't tell Brian because I presumed corporate was acting in good faith. I would have that meeting and then be able to go to Brian and say, when he came into the store the next day, listen, we're moving out of the country. Corporate is going to buy the store, which will include your collection, and then we will pay you a lump sum for it. Or corporate is going to buy the store. Do you want your collection back? That conversation was going to happen literally the next day. And I wish I could go back to November 6th and call Brian and say, come pick everything up right now. And I would
you didn't know that they were going to come and
right.
Right.
Yeah.
You had no idea.
Yeah.
Hindsight
is, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So then unfortunately he gets caught in the middle of all of this.
Yeah.
Sure. Have you spoken with Brian since the video dropped?
Since Ben's video dropped, Ben has talked to him.
I have messaged with him a little, and at first most of the messages were just like, "Did you see that? Wasn't that great?"
Yeah,
that went out there, and then since the TRO, we haven't been allowed to communicate at all.
Yeah, our move to Spain. Full disclosure here, because I'm a kind of a full disclosure kind of person. It's
we like that.
And the childhood trauma, pick your pick. 2001, 6 of the other. Spain nearly destroyed both of us. It nearly destroyed our marriage. We came back to the U.S. absolutely convinced that we were divorcing. We came back. Ben actually went back to Ohio, and I came back to Oregon. We eventually, through therapy and conversation, have made it through that. But our time in Spain, we both sunk into dark places.
Spain was awful. Having your life savings taken right before you do an international move and not having the means to survive in Spain was awful. Spain was great.
And
where in Spain were you guys?
In Barcelona.
Yeah. So
I still tell everybody, if you ever get a chance, go. It is one of the
I was just there.
Cities. Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, in January.
Such a cool place.
Yeah.
I love that. Being there broke was not great.
So I sunk into a deep, dark depression. And, Brian and I had been in conversation leading right after what happened with the store. And we had continued to talk when he'd gotten together with Reckless Ben and leading all up to that. There was a point where my depression overtook and I just became incapable of responding to anybody. And that was, that's a fault of mine. I let that darkness overcome everything. And fortunately for our relationship with Brian, Ben stepped up to that and took over talking to him through that. So like Brian and I don't talk now. We exchange a few messages here and there. Part of that is also our lawyer saying, do not talk to Reckless Ben or Brian. I'm hoping that once all this is resolved, that he and his wife will be willing to, meet us for a beer and clear the air and all that, because I want to be able to apologize to him and explain to him what was going on. He was dealing with this devastating thing at the same time I was dealing, and it just kind of.
And he was.
I'm not proud of a lot of things that I
share
let my
anything
depression.
personal about him, but he was dealing with a lot of other things at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, it was really.
Yeah.
He has had an awful experience also.
Do you think that this Reckless Ben video has helped your relationship?
I don't know about we recovered, I think, before the Reckless Ben thing. So
Our relationship or our relationship with Brian?
Your relationship, the two.
Our relationship, we had reconciled before the video was released.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we reconciled back in mid-February.
And so
the video hadn't been released yet.
But timing wise, it's a really good thing that we had reconciled.
Yeah.
Because this is a different kind of stressor.
Oh yeah.
And I just imagine trying to maintain okay, well, we're going through a divorce and we're friendly, and also this is blowing up.
Yeah.
Rather than we need each other right now.
Yeah.
And so it has, timing wise, it has worked out well that we had reconciled and could be here for one another through this, because it's been a lot.
The most important thing our time in Spain taught us is that it's together that we get through things, not separate. And that is unfortunately what happened in our relationship, as we tried to navigate our own feelings
in our own ways
separately. Yep. So
advice for everybody out there.
Right. Yeah. Who knew you were going to get marriage counseling today, Chad?
That's actually really good advice.
My therapist is probably watching this going, oh, this is going to be at least another 3 months worth of therapy. That woman is a saint, and I love her. And I also hate her on the day.
Yeah.
She knows this.
I love
By the way, I got to show off my car, because I got the car part done. I think.
All right, show it off, David. Show it off.
This thing.
Is it done?
It's not done. I got to do Mario, but look, the wheels turn. And it's got a stand and that tilts, and so
my God, I
display
really
it in different ways.
Cute.
Yeah, this thing's cool. This is a really cool set.
I like that.
That's really cool.
Also, I want to say that this guy right here, Hey is his name.
Hey.
He is the only piece of Lego that I have from Bricks and Minifig, and I am raffling him off. I have, I think, 5 entries. If you guys are interested, email me at Michigan Lawn Now. On the 20th, when we do our live build along, we'll do the drawing, and then you guys can win him.
That's awesome.
If you want a Brick and Minifig set, it's the only one that I have.
I do like that set, though.
I still have my name tag from the store.
Do
I
you?
still have my little owner name tag.
You could raffle your name tag.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Give to charity.
It's not bad, actually.
I love that idea.
Maybe.
So when did you first learn that Reckless Ben was involved?
Oh, we're going back to I don't know when I learned. We'd have to go back through our messages. I do know I spoke to him I first started talking to him in the beginning of March.
Yeah.
You're this random guy that calls up and is like, hey, I'm a YouTuber.
So Brian gave us a heads up that he was going to be reaching out. And I was super skeptical to begin with. I watched a couple of his videos online, and I was like, this feels like right?
It's his style. His style is the brilliance of his style is everyone underestimates that.
So I went into it. I went into it going, I'm going to tell him what I can tell him. We hadn't filed any lawsuit yet, right? I'm going to provide him whatever pictures that I can, whatever documents I can, whatever he can do to help Brian, I'm going to offer up. I'm sure he won't take offense by this. I also recorded our conversation because I've become a little bit paranoid. But
I'm sure he did too.
Right.
Right.
We had that conversation in March of 2024. 2025 while we were in Spain. And then a couple follow-up messages in the next, year or whatever of, hey, can you send me this, or can you clarify something in this and this and that? And I knew after like talking with him that our part in that, like my part in that, was going to be super small. The whole focus of his was going to be Brian. And that was like, absolutely, we are going the legal route. Whatever Brian can do to get his own attention on his side of it is I'm going to support 100%. So, although now, we've got big bad corporation threatening
to put us all together.
Yeah. And our lawyer, you're an attorney. I'm presuming you've read the RICO, the civil RICO claim.
No, the TRO, you mean?
No, the civil RICO claim.
We did a stream on it last night.
Yeah. Did you notice they said, so we're not named defendants, we're not legally bound by it, right?
Right.
But they said, me and Ben and our lawyer may possibly be.
And
they said that
attorney. They said our attorney may be a co-conspirator.
And our lawyer read that and went,
it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. It really doesn't work that way. I did hear the COO call out Ben and his lawyer during a live stream where Ben happened to be in chat and said, this TRO was just issued today and he should have notice of it. And his lawyer definitely does. So they're both in contempt of court. I heard all that nonsense. That's not how it works.
How that works.
A lawyer is not a party.
Yeah.
I was watching YouTube live stream. I don't remember which one I was watching. The day after, so they sent our lawyer that TRO, and we had a conversation with our lawyer the next morning, freaking out and going, do we have to pull everything down? Are we involved in this? She's like, calm down. You're not named in it. It's not legally binding. Later that day, I was watching a live stream on YouTube. I don't remember which one it was. I literally left a comment saying, I don't even remember what I said. We got an email from their lawyer later that day saying, we warned you about this and she's online talking about it again. And I'm just like, and
lawyer, BAM lawyer, please email me. I'd love to have a chat with you.
No shit.
That's awesome. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So some of these lawyers, they do things and they say things like sending it to Patreon and things like that. As an attorney, that it has no legal force against Patreon and these other third parties that are not named. You can ask, hey, would you please? But to send like a cease and desist or to say, hey, you're in violation of the order. It's like, no, you're not. And that they're not. That's just like scummy stuff to do. And my understanding is that they're one of the largest law firms, if not the largest law firm in Utah. So they know what they're doing. But they have money.
They're one of the largest law firms like globally, with my understanding.
They might be.
Like in the US. I don't know.
Yeah, they absolutely might be. And
our lawyer doesn't seem to be afraid of them. So that's good.
That is good.
A lot of people are like, oh, they got a high-powered lawyer. You're going to be in so much trouble. And it's like the law is still the law, no matter how much money you throw at it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Hoping that's what we're counting on.
Yeah.
Well, you've also got public sentiment on your side.
Yeah.
Which has been
for sure
overwhelming and amazing, and is helping kind of hold us together mentally.
Right, yes,
that has to make you have the good feels, right?
Yep.
I'll tell you,
so cool.
Some of my favorite comments though are from previous customers that just find me in the post and comment on there and go, I remember you. One of my favorites was I remember you. I came in, I had a customer give me, he knew my feeling about Ewoks, and he had the Wicket, like the retired Lego Wicket keychain. And I was telling him one day about how much I love the Ewoks, and he came in the next day and he's like, here, this is for you. And I still have it. Like I still use it. And he jumped in a comment on one of the platforms and he was like, I know you don't remember me, but I'm the guy. And I was like, I absolutely remember. Those are my favorite previous customers jumping on and saying like, I remember you, you were great. We had this thing. And like, Salem is a relatively small town. Kaiser is a relatively small town.
Yeah.
Most of my customers I was seeing repeatedly.
Yeah, like
And
at
so
the
I
grocery store.
I remember you. Like
Aw.
those, I love the general support, but also hearing from people like that are just, I love that. It reminds me why I loved what I did and why I'm continuing to fight the way I'm fighting to protect other franchise owners and future franchise owners from experiencing what we experienced.
This, yeah.
So I love all the support. It's amazing.
So I want to show you this because you mentioned that. This is not a terribly long video. And I want to give this guy credit for his video. I'm not going to play it all.
I watched this today.
So this is Kelton Davis. Apparently he has a Lego YouTube channel. And so the title of his video is why this bricks and minifig scandal is so personal to him. He talks about the fact that he's from American Fork. He drives through American Fork. Have you guys seen this?
From Utah. I've seen some of his other stuff. I went on to his and put a comment because he's like, I don't want this to represent everyone from Utah. And I went in and said, like, I do not blame the people of Utah for what has happened. A lot of good people in Utah. I know a lot of folks who are Mormon, know, they're good people. Like, so, but, and so he really appreciated that comment.
I think this he dropped earlier today. I think this might be the spot that I'm looking for. I didn't put a time code in, so we'll see.
In April of 2024, I was on a business trip in the Portland and Salem area, and I happened to stop by the Kaiser location. I saw the Mansell collection with my own eyes. In particular, I saw the sealed version of the very first Death Star, and I thought, how do these guys have this? This is amazing. Of course, I couldn't really afford any of the sets that I would have been interested in, but the thing that did catch my eye was a used copy of the Bandit's Secret Hideout.
By the way, I have this. I built this on the stream once. I didn't realize that this thing is as valuable as it is. I have it used, so it's $133. But anyway,
listen, it took me 2.5 weeks.
Woo!
To dig those parts out of a bulk buy, and I built that thing myself.
It's now deconstructed back in the bin again, but I did build this on the stream once.
Western theme that I didn't have yet, and so naturally I was very interested in that. And Crystal was the one working the counter that day. They were having a 15% off on Lego sets over $100 that day, so I actually got a really good deal on that set. And it just so happens that getting that set was the inspiration for starting the Retro Lego series on this channel. It's a bizarre coincidence, but it made this story feel much more real from the get-go.
And he also lives in American Fork. So again, you got I'll put his channel in the chat and then later in the description if you guys want to check it out.
Yes. Absolutely. The world is small.
Yeah, it's a very small world, right? I just happened to stumble across his stream today and I was like, oh, how interesting.
Can you do me a favor and like send that to me?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I haven't seen that. I'd love to watch that.
That's really
I will send it now.
I love that's the kind of stuff that like that's the thank you. I'm not gonna cry.
Yeah.
No,
I'm gonna cry.
Are you building Lego or chopping onions? What's going on?
there's no crying in Lego.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
So I do have a question about the spreadsheet. Now there's been a spreadsheet attached.
Yes.
To I think actually this I received. I think this is just like the spreadsheet that everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's attached to a lawsuit or anything. And some of these are marked sold, and CoffeeZilla went through a lot of them. Yeah. I take issue with his valuation, but apparently you don't. Because I had the high end at 240.
Before you say I don't, you have to understand. I was coming off of work at 9:00 at night. And we're sitting at the computer. I've only seen like his breakdown of it and his math with the sets and the pictures and the corporate pictures on a computer screen about this small. And I was trying to do the math and keep all the numbers straight. So I still haven't been provided like any of corporate's side of their receipts or anything like that. So
hopefully, I think you do say that.
Coffees where she's going, wait, I don't know. I get like
do the math.
That was not incomprehension.
But yes,
that was literally not being able to see it.
I trust the work that he did to believe that he did his math correctly.
So I calculated the high end to be, because you do have high end and low end. You can see it right there.
Yeah.
And I calculated the high end to be around 240,000, and correct me if I'm wrong, and the low end to be around 160,000, something like that. And that's all of them listed, sold and unsold. And
but
so
that's only, from my understanding, that spreadsheet only shows the sets, correct?
it does not show the minifigures. You are correct.
Yeah.
So in the spreadsheet that I have, that Brandon has, or that Brian has, and that is in the corporate, in the Salem Bricks Minifigs drive, shows there's a separate tab that has all the minifigures. I think I went through and looked the other day, and the minifigures add about an additional, I don't even remember, 12 to 20,000, something around there.
Does that have the packs broken?
No.
And so that's the other thing is that, and we did explain this to Coffee.
Well, let him ask his question first before we go. Yeah.
Well, but so no. First of all, my question is when was this document last updated?
I actually went back through and looked at my edit history, and the document was updated in like the beginning of November. But I looked at like what had been updated, and it looks like a couple of the layaway ones had been taken off of layaway. And then there was what I would presume would be like a return. But without seeing the actual tickets, because there were like 3 or 4 things updated in the beginning of November. And then before that in the beginning of September, mid-September.
Okay, but this version here is the beginning of November, so roughly 2 weeks before the takeover, right?
Yeah. Okay. And then I'd sent him that, I think, in September, because he wanted to see because the consignment was coming close to an end, he wanted to actually get a breakdown of like where we were at and what was left over. And so I had sent that through like the store's email to him. So
did you ever send that document to corporate?
They never asked for it.
But
I mean, I would have had they asked me any of this stuff. I would have
system.
sent them anything. It was in the Salem, and the night they took the store, they booted me out of the email account immedioately.
But it was in there. I mean, that's one of the things for that was such a hilarious moment.
Well, okay, so here's where I'm not gonna call anybody stupid, and I'm not gonna call anybody disingenuous.
You can call whoever you want stupid.
I'll do it.
I don't want to get sued. But I will tell you there was a truly beautiful moment at the end of Coffee's video where he does point out the fact that they own the spreadsheet. Now, there is a consignment agreement floating around out there that corporate released. And in it, their big point when they were like, it's an unauthorized illegal consignment, what they're showing is the rough draft consignment agreement that Brian emailed to the Salem email account before we ever signed it, with a thing of, are there any notes? And in it, he had put my name. And my response to him was, this is the LLC. Let's change that. We reworded a couple of things around timing and a couple of words and stuff. And then he brought in the new updated copy physically. So somebody was able to find an email of the rough draft of the consignment agreement within the store's email system.
So the one that they attached to the
able to find the spreadsheet within that same email system.
So the one that they attached, the consignment agreement that they attached to the complaint that they filed, you're saying that that's the one that was contained in the email. Yeah. That's the draft version. That's not the final version.
It's not the final version.
But I mean, that means they were that close to the spreadsheet that caught them. They were able to go back in and find the document to try and gotcha us. Yeah.
That actually
simple search. Like they could have just put in the search bar.
They literally could have typed in Star Wars in the search bar.
Well, that answers my next question, which is if you never
consignment agreement, I would have been able to take Brian's stuff with me that night because it would have been through me personally instead of the LLC.
Yeah. Yep. So the one question that I had was CoffeeZilla points out that that corporate had that spreadsheet, or at least an entity associated with BAM had it as of September of 2024.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, that didn't make sense to me if they would have gotten it like in November. Why would they have had it in September? But if it was part of the email, your corporate email, that makes sense.
And the email account was created and set up by corporate, and then the password was handed over to me, and then I changed the password at one point because the store's computer got stolen and it had to be replaced. But because
how many break-ins did you have? Oh my god!
Good Lord. Okay.
Is Kaiser that dangerous? Like, what's going on up there?
Okay. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. The computer, oh my goodness. So the location was terrible. I had conversations with corporate about change. If I was going in as a brand new franchisee, I would not have gone into that location, period. But so the store's buy and sell computer was taken off of the counter because somebody had left it. One of the staff had left it on the counter instead of tucking it below. Its own incident. It was a grab right off the counter. My own personal cell phone was taken off the counter because my stupid butt left it sitting on the counter and turned my back. Then we had one of Brian's sets, the Java's Palace set. We had on a table display. That one was grabbed by somebody like in the store who just grabbed like 3 sets off the table and ran out the door. There was a customer in the store at the time. He tried to follow him down. We called the police. It's marked as stolen on the spreadsheet. But then we had 4 different, one before we took ownership, one very recently before we took ownership, where somebody pulled up in the middle of the night and smashed the windows and then came in.
The doors, the
front door, and then came in and
Jesus.
one of those break-ins was over $30,000 worth of inventory because the security system, the Lorax system, the very first one, the Lorax system wasn't sending any kind of notifications to me. So I didn't find out about it until Tan Republic opened the next morning and called the cops. So not only did they come in and break the doors and grab a bunch of sets, they came back like 2 hours later and cleared out half of our minifigure cases. And in that 2-hour span, they went down the street to Brick in the Wall and broke in there.
I was going to say, so Cool Comic Guy 1, Irresponsible Speculation says, is it possible that corporate was doing the break-ins? But if they broke into a competitor, then probably not.
I can't speculate, but I can say based on the security footage of the 3 follow-up, and the cops agreed with this, the 3 follow-up break-ins, it's the same person, the same 2 people 4 times. And as far as I am aware, anybody can correct me if I'm wrong, there has not been a break-in since I have not been in possession of the store.
So somebody's better than you. Well, wait a minute, though. Well, yeah, it did operate. I was going to say it shut down.
It operated for like 7 months or something after that, right? 7, 10 months, something like that.
Should we get to some super chats, Wendy? I was just thinking. We're leaving our chat behind.
Yeah,
Wendy, you're muted, babe.
I want my question answered.
Wendy, you're muted, babe.
Thanks, babe. Appreciate that. Lefty for the $5 super chat. 2 things, and this is a little bit old, so it may not be relevant, but it's funny. I sent Tom Gillis those videos today. And 2, if I had to re-rent you would have to do the same.
Oh, that's to me. He's talking directly to me.
Yes. Yay, a free
still
chat.
here, Lefty?
I don't know. I haven't seen him for a few minutes. You better wrench him.
Well, if he's not here, I can't do that.
I know, Lefty. Come on, babe.
He's gone to work already.
He might have gone to work. Marissa loves dogs. Hi, Marissa. Marissa has been a member of David's for 26 months.
Ooh, thank you
so much. And let's see. Thank you for the $5 Valhalla Awaits memberships, Marissa. We appreciate you. We love you.
Marissa, you're awesome.
That's very generous. And for the $2, awesome. We love Marissa. Tarot Oracle Original for the $2 super chat. BamCon gonna be super awkward this year.
No kidding.
I was talking about BamCon when I was on my ride.
So how much of a cult-like atmosphere is it?
Yeah, because you attended.
Okay,
I never went to BamCon.
I went to BamCon the first year that I was with the company as a manager. I didn't go to the second one because it conflicted with the Comic-Con that we had already paid for the booth. So the first one was, from my understanding, previously they used to have the BAMComs like in Utah at like the corporate headquarters, right? The first year, the year that I went, they had it in San Diego and we all went to Legoland on the last day. And it was really kind of nice to go as an employee because they paid my way. They paid the hotel, they paid the airfare, everything. The owners have to pay their own way. But like for me,
yet again, the franchisees get screwed.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
So it's like, it's 2 days of basically like, here's the breakdown. Here's the sales for all the stores. Here's where we're at. Here they bring in a couple new custom vendors and stuff, and they display like these are going to be some new custom figures we're going to have here. Like that was my experience. That one, there's crappy buffet food, and then the last day of it, we went to Legoland, and so I took my kid Frankie with me, and we spent the day at Legoland. It was kind of fun. The year that we went, I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway, because I feel like if you're not outwardly, there was a woman that released a video. I guess she's been doing like promoted content for Bricks and Minifigs for a little while.
Emily Soros?
Yeah, she came out with a video and I watched that, and I kind of feel like this is one of those, if you're not saying something, you're saying something. So I'm about to out somebody right now, and they might not be real happy about me outing them. But I don't really care.
I'm nervous now.
My kid's name is Frankie. Yes. They were a big MCR fan. I can't. So at the convention that I went to, I got to meet the two guys behind Beyond the Brick. And it was a big announcement that Beyond the Brick had entered into a partnership with Bricks and Minifigs for a discounted price of, I think, about $4,000. The Beyond the Brick guys would show up on any grand openings for new stores and film an appearance. Now, keep in mind, this was back in 2023. I think 2023. I'd have to look at my Facebook post from that. They've been conspicuously quiet since then. But it was fun to be able to see them. They did film a TikTok video with me that I got to post on the store's social media. So that was fun. That might be kind of a mean move to say something about that now.
You're starting beef with the guys from.
Listen, if you're not
Beyond the Brick,
you're saying something. I'm just saying.
If you're not saying something, you're saying something. I agree with that.
Yeah.
So, Crystal,
I don't
we
know
showed
if they actually have their agreement. I do know as of a couple years ago they did. So
we showed Benjamin a RICO case that Legally Mine was involved in.
I've been getting tagged and stuff like that. I haven't been able to like fully dive into it and see what's going on.
These guys covered it.
Well, that we didn't cover. I didn't cover. BJC, BCJ, God damn it. My new friend that I met today. She went really in depth. It's BCJ or BCJ. I'm sorry.
I have an excuse. She didn't message me back. Your friend.
Well, she doesn't like you. BJC live show. That's what it is. BJC. She went super in depth in this thing today. And so the Legally Mined LLC was known as something else, Vail
Corporate LLC.
Okay.
But what they were doing sounds an awful lot like what's happening here. What they were doing is they were essentially setting up, like, allegedly, this is what the lawsuit is alleging.
Yeah.
They're essentially setting up like a timeshare event, right? Where they would bring everybody in and they'd say, you keep getting free stuff as long as you went to the next thing, kind of thing. And what they would do is, like, the first step, they would make you fill out an LLC. And then as you progress through this whole thing, they would just send you to their buddies, and their buddies would provide you this service. It was all set up and all very racketeering, if you feel what I'm saying. But
Wait, I'm
one
not
of
saying
the
it's
aspects.
cult, but it kind of
That was
It
my.
sounds
That's what I
exactly
said
like
too. I
what
was
they're
like, I don't
doing.
want to use the word cult, but it sounds
like if it walks like a
cult
duck.
adjacent.
What they were doing is they had a guy, Yancey, David Yancey, something Yancey. He was on the A&E Flipping Houses show or whatever the hell it was. And they were using him as like the face to kind of have everybody
Bring him in.
buy into the event, if you will, and give it some justification or whatever credibility.
It's like the Trailblazers coach's role in the gambling scandal. I don't know if you've heard about that. So our NBA team, they were doing these poker games, and they would get big money people to come in by saying, "Look, we've got NBA players sitting at the table," and
And they were all in on it.
The NBA players were in on it, or coaches. Allegedly. Now I'm going to get sued by the former coach. Of the
Listen, we don't want to get
Trailblazers.
sued. One battle.
He's
at a
got
time.
bigger problems.
Entertainment show. We are here for entertainment purposes only.
That's right.
Yes, exactly.
So, did you feel like there was a cultish atmosphere at this minifig-a-thon or whatever it's called?
BamCon.
BamCon. Dang, Dave.
Or was it more like bad office, trust fall and, bad office retreat vibes?
So, I mean, keep in mind, I was fairly new with the company because it took place in like the summer-ish.
Yeah.
I was pretty new with the company.
I mean, it's a yes or no, ma'am.
Good luck with that. I've never managed.
Let me. And you never, right? You never will.
Never will.
Never.
Love it.
Terms and conditions in our marriage.
That's
you
right.
knew this.
The small print in the vows. There will be no yes or no answers.
It did not feel. I wouldn't say it felt cultish. I will say it felt like I was walking into an old boys club.
Okay.
I was very cognizant of my gender there. I also showed up with, tattoos, a nose ring, and purple hair. And so I miss my purple hair. My new job won't let me, but
Oh, sad.
yeah,
You just get a wig for the
I hate
weekend.
being grown up.
yeah.
My wife Valkyrie used to do pink in her hair, and the job she's currently at, they don't let her do it anymore.
Yeah.
Listen. Yeah.
I mean, I used to have hair, and my job requires this.
Maybe like a mohawk or something. One day I might just shave it all off. He's gonna have no idea.
Then we'd match in a way that would
That'd be cute.
it would be too cutesy. Yeah, you know what that
I try not to make
Lot of-
impulsive decisions. So
A
it
lot
felt
less
very much like
hair
walking
didn't pull out of
into
the
an
drain.
old boys club. That's yeah. I was very aware that I was coming in as a manager, not as an owner. I was still pretty new to the company. I will tell you, my favorite interactions from that weekend were, at the time, there were like 4 other locations that were owned by corporate. And so all the managers from those locations were there as well. And that actually, like, my interactions, I spent most of my time with them because it kind of felt like, oh, you guys are on my level and you're not talking down to me like I'm some, newbie idiot. So,
Well, speaking of things that are a little controversial, Jung has this question, and actually a lot of people in chat did. Do you either of you think that the Mormon Church has anything to do with what's going on with the ban? And if you don't want to answer that,
we might want to take this one separately. I don't. My personal belief is that, it's kind of the Occam's razor thing. Like, what's the simplest explanation? And the simplest explanation
That's where I'm at.
Californian dude comes in from out of town, and they go, who's the powerful guy in town?
yeah.
He's local.
LA.
He's right. And they're LA, right? And so I think that explanation makes more sense to me. Now, somebody could do a deeper analysis about the way in which many religions teach people to have kind of an obedience to a male authority.
Yep.
And so that could have inclined those police officers to say, just like when we're in church, we need to listen to the white guy who's telling us what to do.
Who looks like who looks like the person you should believe.
He
I
looks
grew
the
up.
part.
I grew up in a small conservative town, and for me, that whole video, that whole interaction, really read like, "You're the local. You look professional. You are throwing around this, you know, CEO. You're throwing around. I work for corporate. He's a YouTuber with disdain, right?
The way he said it drove me nuts.
Oh God, made me want to.
I mean, he's a YouTuber. I mean,
yeah.
he's
Yeah.
a YouTuber.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been trashed on
I
this
think
channel.
There's good and bad people in every religious organization. I grew up Roman Catholic. I'm not afraid to make that statement. But I also know I've seen a lot of comments from Mormons coming out and saying, like, no, we don't defend, like, what they did is wrong. We don't defend this. Please don't label us all with the same paintbrush. So there are good and bad people within any group. Except
That
for Nazis.
video,
All bad people within
there's
that
no
group.
good Nazis.
that video we showed you earlier, where the guy from American Fork, he was Mormon, and that was his take on the whole stuff.
I think it's and I think I might have heard that from him first, and that's where I was like hopping in, going, absolutely, the rural versus the small town versus a big city thing is real in this country right now.
I think that's where David was going to. I think Valhalla agrees with that too. I'm more of a conspiracy theorist. Maybe that way. I also am obsessed with religions, all religions. So I always want to think about, something deeper in there.
I'm generally, I'm generally against. I see the harm that organized religion has caused throughout history. Yeah. I see the harm that it continues to cause, particularly to women, particularly to queer people. But I also understand the reasons why people would choose to put their faith in a religion. I understand what they get out of it. So I listen, I may not be religious anymore, but that whole judge not thing kind of rings true to me, right? Show me who you are, and I'll judge you on who you are. Show me
on that one,
how you treat people, and I'll judge you on how you treat people,
and how you treat animals.
Yes,
absolutely.
Speaking of that,
you don't like dogs, we have a problem.
We saw Josh and Brandon acting a certain way in Reckless Ben's video. Is that consistent with? Well, first of all, have you ever interacted with Josh, or was it just Brandon?
I've never met Josh.
Never
spoken to him. I've never ever with Josh or Amanda.
Quick question.
I want to clarify something real quick. I did not hire Amanda. She never worked for me. I have never met her.
Yeah.
She seems nice.
She's the best.
In her defense, and I said this on my TikTok live yesterday, in her defense, we don't know what she had gone through previously.
That's
right.
We don't know what she had gone through working for Josh. We don't know what she was hearing from them. You never know what is going on in somebody's life on any given day. So
why do you think she jumped immediately to get out of here, or I'm calling the police? Sort of.
That may have been a direct order from her boss.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think that's a Josh.
Yeah,
because
he's a company man. She's going the line. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, I was wondering if you were aware of any other attempts of people other than Brian, who admitted to trying to go in there, to go in there and ask for the Lego.
I do know Brian told me that he had a couple of friends of his go in shortly after corporate took over. And one of them was actually able to buy one of the sets. And so he did have a couple of friends go in afterwards. And there's an Instagram reel that got posted by somebody not connected with the store. It was just tagging the store in it, saying I went in, the new setup looks great. Big old video going around it. I don't, it's still on, if you search, you can find it, but you can clearly see the collection still on the shelves in the beginning of the video. There's even somebody did a reaction, grabbed that and did it frame by frame to pull out. It's floating around there somewhere.
That's the Manny guy. I think he went through and accounted for 75% of the collection.
Yeah.
Impressive, by the way.
Right?
Yeah, a lot of work.
Yeah.
Do we have more super chats to get
we
through,
do.
Wendy?
Thank you for asking. Savvy Turtle for the $5 super chat, commenting earlier about the BJC. Glad you gentlemen came today and connected with BJC. And
Same. I like her a lot. That we're gonna do stuff for sure.
I will say I was there yesterday, Valhalla.
I poked in. I
That's
was
why they
also
sent
reading a
those
bunch of lawsuit stuff.
I know.
I'm going to ask this one later because I'm going to do super chats first. By the way, thank you all for your super chats. I promise I'm getting to them as soon as I can. Michigan
blame
Farm
Wendy
Boy.
if they don't get asked.
Yeah, right. Michigan Farm Boy for the $5 super chat. As a friend, and by the way, you don't just because people are super chatting doesn't mean you have to answer. Of course, you know that, right? You have, yeah. As a franchisor, how much of a uniform franchise offering circular did BAM provide? Do you still have that document available for your case?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is. Is that a reference to the franchise agreement?
Or
The
the
acronym is
disclosure document?
Do you know what that means?
The
David? I don't know.
what I'm thinking is it's like the operating manual essentially is what I think it's referring to. And that's not been released, even though it's been referenced specifically in the complaint. They haven't released
We
it.
got. I don't know if this will be a big reveal. I think I may have shared this somewhere.
So they like to point out, particularly in this beginning thing of like consignments are against the rules, right? We do intense training with our new franchisees, and they're provided this operating manual. I never went to franchise training, to owner training. I never. They skipped all of that stuff in the very beginning. They were like, you just came out not too long ago for manager training. You've been running the store. It's fine. Every time I mentioned, hey, where's this operating manual?
Yeah.
It's fine. We'll get it to you. We'll get it to you.
They never delivered it.
I've never seen it. Somebody in one of the Reddit posts said it's in your Slack. But I'm like, I'm sorry. I took over a Slack that had been operating for God only knows how many years before me with 800 different channels. They couldn't have said it's in this Slack channel right here. I still have not seen the operating manual.
Have you ever asked for it via email?
So to answer your question, Michigan Farm Boy, no, they never got it. So they have nothing to provide.
Unless it was in the franchise disclosure document, which I don't know because I haven't read that in a while. It may he may be talking about something
inside. They said it's
not the operating manual, but if he's not talking about the operating manual, if it's something else in the franchise disclosure document, please clarify.
Yeah, and if you're still here, please clarify. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned something about that in the Slack to answer your previous question or the emails. Sure. I genuinely don't know. It's been so long. But all of that is going to be included in our discovery as our lawsuit moves forward.
Great. So. Savvy Turtle for the $10 super chat. The Star Wars character Ben is building is my favorite. Hi, Ben, and finally join Valhalla.
Nice. Thank you.
I'm guessing it's the character I'm building and not the character Ben is building because
Wicket.
Wicket
is great. I'm doing the Lord of the Rings. I've got the Balrog.
Well,
that was Warwick Davis, wasn't it? The Wicket?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Willow was one of my all-time favorite movies.
Willow, and Warwick Davis played different parts in multiple Star Wars movies. So they would go to him. He was the go-to, an amazing human being.
Really talented.
He was a droid.
I don't know.
Recently,
I think that Crystal should answer this question. Squad Bob, thank you for the $2 super chat. Who would win in a war between the Ewoks and Tribbles?
I'm super nerd. The Tribbles are
Benjamin needs to answer this question.
Yeah. No, I just turned and said, remind me which one the Tribbles are.
I didn't know who. I can't remember either.
Enterprise. Original series.
Oh goodness,
So the Tribbles wouldn't win. The Tribbles don't fight. The Tribbles just breed you out of existence, and so they would, have tons and tons of babies and take over a space. Whereas the Ewoks would fight. It might actually be interesting because we do know that the Ewoks are carnivorous, and so if the Ewoks would eat the Tribbles, that could be a really, really horrific battle.
I feel like I failed the test, but
it's like cuteness, and then it gets bloody and horrific. As the Ewoks eating Tribbles, that would be really, really awful to see, and yet hilarious.
I think the Ewoks would just domesticate them and start agriculture.
Yes.
Right. So Savvy Turtle, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Crystal, welcome. And Ewoks are my fave too.
Hi.
Yay, Ewoks.
I love the Ewoks.
Love the
come on.
Ewoks.
Give us more Ewoks. Like I just
There's like a year, right? Like what's the age where if you're this age or older, you hate the Ewoks because they're like fluffy for the kids, and if you're this age or younger,
Basically,
you
the
love it.
exennial is the cutoff, I think.
Yeah.
when I was a kid, when I was probably about like, I don't know, maybe 9 or 10, I grew up out in the country, and my oldest brother was a huge Star Wars fan, and he had this like plastic tree-shaped like container for his little action figures. And I used to take all of his little action figures out and then take the tree, and he used to get so mad. And then one day my dad took me out to like the gear shed, and he was like, here. And he points to this big pile of like loose wood pieces and like boards and rope and nets and stuff. And he was like, this is yours. Go. And so I went into the back property behind our house, and I tried to make myself a little Ewok village.
Oh,
That really was just listen, I was so young and it was really pathetic. So it was basically like 3 boards nailed to a tree with a big piece of net hanging down on it that I then promptly got stuck in.
You should have been friends with David then, because he would have helped you build something really cool, like his tree house he built right here. He's in.
Also, he likes art.
Like I really thought I was going to go out there and build my own little village.
So are you in a treehouse now?
I am.
Literally.
Yeah, this is actually a treehouse. So I built this for my kids years ago, and then they got older and sort of stopped using it, and I needed a space to do my, YouTube streams. I'm like, this is perfect. Yeah,
That is so cool.
Isn't that cool?
And
And he puts a heater in there when it's like Michigan cold,
That's the wrong way. Yeah, well, I've got so this is a little fireplace behind me when it's cold out, and then I've got an air conditioner. Well, I'm going the wrong way again. So there's
He's also
like
got a
little
chicken
window.
coop underneath him.
That's
I do have a chicken coop.
So
under it.
great.
That's why this place is guarded by chickens. But yeah, it's just a little.
It
There's the
really
ceiling.
is.
It's a very roughed in. I just put a little background in there.
It's really cute. Squad Bob, thank you for the $5 super chat. The Lego were done with us for reasons and left for a galaxy far, far away.
Yes.
And I love this. No more. And then $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Team Crystal. Woohoo!
Thank
Yes.
you.
Nice.
Our response to that question is we agree.
Thank you.
Right?
I
We-
get that.
We second that emotion.
This is all insane. The fact that I'm even here right now
Yeah.
is insane.
it's wild.
What
Yeah.
you were expected to be, 6 months ago.
No,
Oh.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
I was telling somebody that I was sitting out on my lunch break, like scrolling through Instagram one day, and I go into my messages, and there's a message from CoffeeZilla in my Instagram just going, "Hey, can we talk?" And I literally sitting outside my work on my 10-minute break out loud going, "Holy shit." And then immediately texting Ben and Frankie going, "What is my life?
And,
What
It
is
just
what
got
is
different.
happening?"
and I am
It
amazed
just got
where I was
different.
like, boo.
And Frankie was like, "Oh my God, that's amazing. Can I be there
Right?
for that?"
Yeah.
Frankie's like, my mom is so cool.
Right.
I love that so much. Okay, I'm gonna be a David and not.
I'm gonna
Bill.
try not to ask questions so we can get through the super chat.
Yeah, let's get through these. Come on, people paid good money. Calabria of Southbound, $20 super chat. Thank you so much. This isn't going to make you feel better, but from your perspective, would all of this have been more professional had the district attorney prosecuted B&M, I think they mean BAM, for grand larceny of a twice protected class action as he should have? Or maybe he does mean B&M. I don't know.
I don't know. That actually is a legal question, I think. Would
Yeah.
I'd be interested in your perspective on that.
David,
Would it
yeah,
have been more straightforward had it gone the criminal route?
Well, I mean, I think it would have been more straightforward if any lawyers had gotten involved a lot earlier.
Yeah.
You know,
We tried.
Also, I'm not ruling out the possibility that this doesn't end up criminal.
Yeah.
By the way.
I think it would have helped us. I think it would have helped us, find a lawyer. And with in those first few
Yeah.
months, if, in that first month, if Kaiser PD had stepped forward and said, like, no, this is
Yeah.
the criminal act, I think that
Yeah.
would have really helped us in our position with them. And
Good point.
then I don't know.
One of our
Not
regrets,
really.
and we've said, is that night, rather than leaving, if we had said, no,
Call the police.
we
If I
don't
had called the
agree,
police myself.
and when they say we're going to call the cops, if we'd said go ahead, the
Yeah.
cops we're here and they know us, and we would have, ironically, we would have been the Ammon, the cops are going to side with us because we're the locals kind of position, rather, but they would have shown up and said, this is clearly a civil matter. Sorry, you can't just walk in here and demand the keys, work it out. And then they would have had to work with us. But in the long run, they've made this so bad for themselves.
I mean,
that,
it's like
every single more faith in people than I do.
Yeah, I was like, we'll work this out. We'll get an attorney and we'll work this out tomorrow. And she was like, no, let's fight him.
I've been on YouTube way too long.
And pictures, and I saved phone calls. Listen, give people the benefit of the doubt, but also document everything.
Yeah, Valhalla's
like, nope. A long time ago. I've been on YouTube way too long. I've seen too much. I've seen too much, y'all.
Valhalla records all of our phone calls.
Oh, I have more phone calls recorded that they don't know about.
We don't even need to say any more than that. We have more phone calls than they know of.
Outstanding. I love it. Outstanding. Joey, 375. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Can we ask if the hair salon owner had any good info?
So I saw somebody tagged me in her post on Reddit. I think Reddit. I don't even know, so many platforms right now. And I did reach out and send her a message. And she did send me, we have chatted a little bit. And I have her contact information to pass on to our attorney.
I don't know what that's involving.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
So the woman who owns a hair salon next to the Eugene store.
Not our former store, but the one
in Eugene. That Brandon and Josh also owned. She made a post.
And may still own, apparently.
May still. That's not clear.
A new LLC has been filed with the state, with the Secretary of State under Matt McNeff's name. That's all I know.
It's never Rico.
I do know that Brandon and Josh have only owned that Eugene store for a couple of years. Because I remember meeting the owner of the Eugene store at BAMCon, and it was not, to the best of my recollection, it was not Brandon. I don't fully remember because it's been a while and I'm terrible with faces, but I did actually just come across a fantastic website today that has, I don't know how it exists, but somebody tagged me, sent it to me. It is a website that has the franchise disclosure documents that corporate has to file. And it has every year that they filed for the last 4 years. And each year it shows the edits that they've made, the changes they have made to the document. I don't know why that's public. I don't know how that's public. But you can actually go through there and look at who owned it in this year and who owns it now. And you can track that because they have to list every single store and who owns it. I only saw that today. I haven't spent a lot of time going through it yet. But
so the salon lady owner, I'm assuming she's going to say that maybe she remembers a truck showing up on November 14th.
I got distracted. She remembers a truck showing up. She remembers being disturbed by all the noise coming from the store through the wall. And she remembers the date specifically because she had a client there. And then she reached out to the client and was like, hey, was that you that night? So yeah, she came forward and I've got her information to hand on to the lawyer.
Nice.
One other question while we're talking about kind of that situation, I guess. That red pickup truck in the parking lot?
Yeah.
Whose is that?
So that is the only image that I have from the next day. And there was
a lot of speculation that might be Joshua Johnson's truck.
It is. There was one security camera that was angled at the garbage cans that was left up until the next day. And I didn't save any of the footage because you didn't see anything in it. But I did grab a screenshot of the footage of that red truck. And I don't know what happened to the bird. I know what he has. We're going to circle back to the bird. I thought I was leaving the bird in safe hands. I knew that I had staff members there that would take care of the bird.
Yeah.
I hoped that they would reach out to me if anything happened with the bird. I don't have a video of this, but I do know that that red truck was being loaded up with what he says was garbage. And I know at some
Bullshit.
point, cage
Bullshit.
to that truck. That is the one video that I don't have. I didn't download and upload to a drive. So when we moved to Spain and I lost a bunch of images, it wasn't in the drive because I didn't think it was important at the time. The only thing I had was that.
Now you know better.
So now we know better. Now I know we've uploaded them to 3 different drives.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because if you only have one backup, you don't have a backup.
We moved to Spain and suddenly my phone ran out of all the storage. So I went into my thing and like clean up the storage. And it deleted. I lost like 3 years of images. They vanished.
There was a moment where we thought we lost even the footage from that night.
And then I was able to go into like my OneDrive that had the backup and save a bunch of them.
Yeah, we do have them, but that was.
And then I uploaded them to all the other drives.
Right? 2002 Warlord, thank you for the $10 super chat. I cannot believe what corporate said to you over the phone. I am so glad you recorded it. It truly shows how evil that company is.
Yeah.
Well, and just some things like the were you talking with her or talking at her? Like that's just rhetorical. Like I wasn't expecting him to say, "Oh no, we were talking at her." I was like, I wanted to go. Did you just say that with your human mouth? Like
With your
what?
Just no tact, no self-awareness.
Nothing.
No. Well, and it's so funny because like I'm familiar with recording laws in Oregon because I operated a business in Oregon. The Ring cameras had video and audio, and so we had a sign on the door saying this premises is under video and audio recording because Oregon's a 2-party state. And I also Googled, and if you are making a phone call, so there's no expectation of privacy when you are in public. So therefore, the two-party consent laws do not apply, which is going to come in really handy for Reckless Ben and his. And if you are making a phone call to somebody outside of the state of Oregon, but you are in Oregon, as long as you announce that you are on speakerphone, there is no expectation of privacy. So in the beginning of all these phone calls that I have recorded, the one with Kai, hi, I hope you don't mind that I've got you on speakerphone. Ben thought I was being overly paranoid by saying, hold on, let me record this phone call.
She was right.
I love hearing that.
Love that. I love it. Thank you for the $2 super chat, Joey. Were you aware Brian worked with MCR?
I am. He was, when we first started talking about all of the, when we first started talking, the first time he came in, the first couple of times we met talking about his collection, he was telling me about his work with bands, which was awesome. He is such a nice guy.
Sorry, I just had to butt in. He worked with NCR.
One of Frankie's absolute favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have multiple NCR tattoos.
Yeah. Somebody was asking about your name. I have a daughter named Frankie.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just
who's MCR?
And I have
We don't know. Say that again. Sorry.
Band's called My Chemical Romance.
Oh, yeah. I do know.
Yeah. We actually saw them in concert
in Portland. Yeah.
In Portland, a month before we moved to Spain. Right?
No, that was in 2022.
Was it that far away?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. Time is. Listen, COVID time has gotten absolutely everything, and
there's 2 times. There's pre-COVID and there's post-COVID.
Right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
100%. And I looked this up too for you earlier, Valhalla, when you're talking about the Yancey person. It's Scott Yancey. Yeah. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Savvy Turtle Valhalla. And it wasn't timeshares; it was financing services scam.
That's accurate. It was similar to a timeshare deal where they kept pressuring you.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
The structure of the timeshare.
I speak Valhalla, so you know.
Hey,
oh my God!
I also have brain injuries, y'all. So give me a little bit of leeway.
Come on, we've got a combat veteran here with some brain.
I
love
was
his
proud.
brain.
I remember Yancey.
Right? I love your beautiful ring.
I can't
Ashley
remember a
on-
name to save my life.
You
That's
just
true.
can't pronounce names. $5. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you heard the Lego Gate musical?
I haven't.
I would
musical?
die.
There's a
Yes,
musical?
please.
I've heard that there was a music video, but I haven't heard of a musical.
Somebody
Yeah,
sent me a song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
did
I
hear the
music
song.
video. That would be amazing. Somebody get on that right now. And I want to
We need a
start.
link for that.
I have a lot of people asking me like, who do you think's gonna play you in the Netflix show?
I love it.
And I'm like, okay, let's take some.
Oh, she had like a whole bunch of people, and I was like, mine's simple. Mine's just
Hey, let's hear it.
Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Like that's pretty straightforward.
My vote is still for Anna Kendrick playing me and Trevor Noah playing you.
Somebody said Trevor Noah playing me, and I'm like, I admire Trevor Noah a lot. I don't think we look that much alike, really.
I love that. Ooh,
I think
John
there's a
Oliver
better
can play
cast
you. You
there.
can bring
than
him
Right.
Trevor
You know,
Noah.
I know who it is. Hang on.
Who?
I know who is going to play you.
Okay, tell us. Show us.
Is it Gollum from Lord of the Rings? Because that's
No.
I get that.
No, I still think Michael Rosenbaum would be. Although I don't think
know
he wants
actor's
to
name.
be
I want David to look.
I,
them up.
I don't know his name. I got to pull him up, but I know what he's in.
Get
Okay.
Moby to do it. You'll be all right.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
I had a student one year who called
Jim
me
Rash.
Moby-Wan Kenobi, and I was like,
That-
Moby-Wan Kenobi is
Hell
perfect
yeah.
for me.
I love
I would take that.
Brian-
I would take
Bryan
that.
Cranston,
Bryan
I hear that one.
Cranston.
Yep,
Yeah.
Oh, from Breaking Bad.
Breaking
I
Bad.
like,
Yeah.
I like Jim Rash.
Yeah.
Ben Mendelsohn.
Ben Mendelsohn is
I
also
would
a
I
good.
love
Yeah.
him.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Jim Rash. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I love him. Good job, David. Thank you, Bazinga, for the $10 super chat. Does the aggressive police raid on Ben's Airbnb constitute a clear religious persecution against the Church of Scientology sucks? That's the name of Ben's church.
You know.
The individuals were
I'd make
inside
that
of
argument.
the church assembly.
I think
I
I
would-
figured out
I
what we're
would make
streaming
that
about
argument.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm writing that motion right now.
Write it.
that's funny.
I love it. Thank you for the $5 super chat. And I
That's
love your name,
funny.
Bazinga. Mr. Brain Dead, $5. Thank you so much. Something that's been gross in this is people using the Gorman's political beliefs as a way to disparage them rather than use the facts available.
Let me address
Go
this if I
ahead.
may. We kind of briefly talked about it in the beginning of this. I don't know if we were live yet or not, but it's pretty well established that I'm fairly conservative. Dave as well is also fairly conservative. Wendy is absolutely the liberal token of our stream. I don't care what their politics are, you guys. It doesn't matter. Their politics has no bearing on how I feel about the situation or the crimes involved in all of these people getting hurt and getting their money taken.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the opportunity, Mr. Braindead, to allow me to preach a little on that. Thank you for that.
No, well, I want to and here, and I think one of the things I did a video about that is I've been actually really heartened by the way it's brought people together.
Yeah.
Like everybody
Yes.
across the aisle can go, this is wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is not.
This is
okay."
messed up.
Like,
This
you know,
is
I'm like,
really-
thank you.
Yeah.
Good.
This,
We live in a.
you know, this has brought us all together.
Right.
Facts.
Listen, Lego is supposed to build communities.
Yeah, that's what
Yes.
Lego's for. Bringing people
I mean,
together.
Don't
we're
F with
finding it.
Lego.
Oh God,
We're the
Don't
somebody-
F
prime
with
example
Lego.
of Lego building
Oh no,
communities.
somebody's gonna meme me saying that.
What?
Wait, sorry.
With Lego bringing people together.
No, the brick by brick. I
Yeah,
know
brick by
somebody's
brick.
gonna screen grab that.
You were
and I'm
singing
gonna
part
find
of our
that.
intro song. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. It's part of our intro song. It's been part of our intro song since way before Reckless Ben did it. Dropped his
Way
intro.
before.
Yeah, they've
Way
been
before.
they've been trying to urge me to. I'm actually working on a T-shirt design because I do all the
Brick.
merchandising.
I
design.
love it.
I do
I
all the
love
merchandising designs for our publishing company. So we already have I already have the store. I do all the designs and sales and everything. And I was like, why not?
We should make a.
So I've got a rough
How's
draft
the-
going.
How's the book
it
about
doing?
all of this coming along?
I know, like, so I've been writing this serial novel that I started in January that was just about a so it's a novel fictionalization, and it's about this super bummed out writer who's moving back from Spain to the United States, who kind of loses it and starts hallucinating about a knight errant who has come to
Gee,
the
where
United
did you
States.
ever get this idea?
Yeah, so it's kind of Don Quixote, but if Don Quixote came to the United States, only the twist is he's sane and we're all crazy. And so he's seeing magic, he's seeing giants, and we're seeing windmills.
Yeah.
And he's right, there really are giants. And so I started writing this, and I was having just a ton of fun writing this as a serial novel. Well, then when they came out with that TRO thing,
Yeah.
even the threat of it, I didn't know what it meant. And so I was like, oh, they're going to silence me. Well, I have the perfect vehicle. I don't have to tell you about what I'm going through. I could tell you what Benjamin, the fictional character, is going through. And so
I like it.
It has, played more into the book since then. And, it's that has been a lot of fun to get to create, the evil mustache twirling wizard. Yeah.
I'll just talk about that for a moment. First of all, the facial hair in this story is amazing. We saw
It's on
your
point.
beard, man. We saw your beard on November 14th. Valhalla's extremely disappointed that it's trimmed down now.
I know.
Me too.
She didn't want me to tell you, and it was
Me
I'm
too.
coming back and I'm going to be looking for a job, and I don't want to have the beard down to here and now. Yeah,
I was thoroughly impressed, sir, when I saw that image.
It was a very healthy beard, but
I
It was
miss-
good.
I miss the beard.
yeah.
And then,
As
and
long
then
as
the
you
mustache.
clean shaven.
That's when you guys will know. People will be able to see when we've had a victory, and I'm not afraid of, oh no, I need to go out and be job
Right?
interviewing. I can just grow the beard out and they'll be like, oh yeah, they won.
And my hair will be purple.
No, I'm kidding. We will tell people.
There will
Love
be signs.
I would hope so. I would hope so.
When did you file your complaint, by the way? When was that filed, your lawsuit?
The day they filed theirs, wasn't it? Or the day after?
Ours was before Ben's thing.
We
dropped.
filed
Yeah.
ours. I'd have to pull up the email. We filed ours back in like March or April.
Okay.
I'd actually have to pull up the email.
It was before the Reckless Spins video drop.
Yes.
Way before his video came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Rexy T Rex Travels for the $5 super chat. You know what? Sad. We have so the answer's no, but not that I expected them to. But has Lego actually made a Lego? Has made a comment about the situation? Absolutely
No comments
not.
about Lego.
As
And
they
would
should
be
not.
absolute.
Yeah,
They would
it would be
absolutely be silly to make a
It
comment
would
right
be
now.
silly.
Yeah, they're
I think they're going to wait until it's like you said. If it goes criminal, they'll wait till after and then go.
So, have we learned anything, Bam? Lego, an actual real life corporation that's not run by fools, is saying nothing.
Nothing.
Have we figured it out yet?
They have not, apparently. Michigan Farm Boy for the $10 super chat. FDD. Oh, he's remember earlier he asked about the I'm gonna say UFOC because I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say that. But
That works.
FDD replaced UFOC. It provides what to expect, any agreements, contracts you are signing, etc. Mine had contacts for other franchises, possible misrepresentation.
So we did get that's why I wondered. So we did get the franchise disclosure document, but we also got it in the context of like an email, like 2 days before we signed the franchise agreement saying, just so we're covered legally, here's this document. I remember sitting down with you and reading through and looking at all those numbers. Because normally they do like a visit, normally in the process of buying a franchise, they have you go out and go to other locations and meet and talk to other franchise owners, and they do this whole thing. I never did any of that. I met one owner who was the franchise owner of the Canby store. I met him. He's actually the one, and I went up on my own time just to be like, hey, how's it going? It was the only other Bricks and Minifigs store outside of the Orem store I'd ever been to. And like he was actually the one that was like, have you ever thought about buying it? So yeah, I didn't go through any of that normal process. Which listen, it's really easy to recognize red flags when the relationship
When
ends.
it's over, right?
In hindsight,
Yeah.
I'm a bad picker, but I know about all the red flags when the relationship's over.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There are definitely some exes that I could say that about.
I mean,
Yeah.
oh my God, so yeah. Okay, righteous indifference for $5. Thank you for the super chat. When you set up the meeting with corporate on the 14th, did you do a complete inventory and sales self audit?
On the 14th, I was working by myself.
Until
I
9
had the
p.m.
meeting scheduled at 10 a.m. Told corporate we'd have to pause if customers came in. We scheduled it in the morning so it would be slow. I had no time. I was manning the store by myself.
And we didn't have any reason to believe it was necessary.
Yeah.
We didn't. We were not planning on walking out of there
Yeah.
with nothing but what was on our desk.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
So it was not. It didn't seem
There was no
timely or
reason to.
necessary because we
Yeah.
had said, "Oh, we're going to be entering into the beginnings of these talks,"
Yes.
and then they showed up and went, "Give us the keys."
Jesus, these people.
Yeah.
T-Rex, thank you for the $5 super chat or $10. It is unfortunate because I always like the people that own the Columbus, Ohio BAM. I just go to show how corporate can ruin a bunch of franchise livelihood in an instant. Yes.
Yeah, there are a lot of good people working at those franchises
Yes.
who are,
Yeah.
they love Lego. They are doing their best to make a small business work. So I feel really badly for them enduring all this.
Listen, I understand why. Okay, there's one franchise owner in particular who's been making some really crappy comments on his very public Facebook page. That you could block me, but I have more than one Facebook account because I'm,
Because you've learned now.
so I still see your comments, bro, and corporate's not going to protect you from a libel suit. Anyway, I digress. I will say any current franchise owners, keep in mind that most of these franchises are still operating under that 5-year agreement. They're all still relatively.
Oh yeah.
new. And if you leave your franchise agreement before that 5 years, you have to pay them the average royalties for the rest of your agreement when you're not making that income. That's one factor, right? You've already gone into debt to purchase the franchise, and then you're going to go into even more debt to pay out those fines, right?
That's how they get you.
And the other side of this is they've seen what happens. Whatever story corporate is telling them, they are watching what is happening. They've seen corporate's whole "we protect our franchisee" is crap. You all have seen how they treat their franchisees.
The whole world saw it.
The whole world.
That looks good, Benjamin. Sorry.
That is cool.
That does look really
the
good.
flames are
I like
very
that.
cool. If
That's
folks can
very
see
cool.
those.
I love. Oops, sorry, wrong
Wrong.
person.
It's
Wrong
not
one.
me. I'm not showing. There you go.
Flames.
That's cool.
I think I'm almost to one toe.
I've got the
That is okay.
Maybe part of the foot. I'm not sure. These ones.
So our
such a weird
longest
thing.
Lego stream has gone 9 hours.
Oh boy.
Just
We
saying.
could compete. We're down.
I do have to work at 9 in the morning though. So.
It's really
The danger has ended
difficult
for me, so I'm
to
available.
build Lego and talk at the same time. It's very difficult.
We're here till you finish the project, Crystal. That's how we do things here.
We're here for you
I
guys.
picked up a.
How many thousand?
Listen, it's only.
We'll just have to do
it's
another
only
part
1,000
two.
pieces.
We'll just have to do a part. Well, we could do a part two.
Yeah.
Eva
What I-
Davidson. Sorry, Valhalla. Go ahead, babe.
I watched Benjamin's video yesterday, and as soon as you showed the pieces, I zoomed in to figure out how many piece sets there were. I was like, "Oh no, oh
Yeah.
no!"
It's gonna be a
I'm
long
actually really-
stream.
I'm actually really glad I didn't get the cherry blossom waterfall set because putting those art sets, I love them.
I
But
love
putting
those.
those
They
sets
require-
together is like little teeny tiny pieces. And we don't have overhead. There's no big lights in our apartment, which I love.
I have the bonsai tree, and
Overhead
this thing
lighting
was so
is not
tieous. It's right over here.
Yeah.
It's
Not
this
the
thing was so
flowers.
tedious to put together.
Oh yeah.
We have the
So
bonsai
many.
Well, you
tree, but
see-
it's still somewhere in our storage boxes. I have all of my botanicals, but we haven't put them up yet.
I've
so.
got all these sets. So that's the Lion's Night Castle. This is the blacksmith
Right.
shop, the Viking Village.
I'm gonna have to check up.
See,
on
the
that.
medieval was my childhood. Like that was
Same, bro.
Remember the yellow
Same.
castles?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That was like the best.
I can't find that 3-in-1, the current one they've got out, the castle they've got out. I can't find it.
The
anywhere.
one
I'm
that
gonna
I
to order it.
have.
You son of a bitch.
it.
And then-
You should
I'm
have
gonna
told me
have to. I'm gonna
Valhalla.
have to
You
check
know,
out the
it's
dates of when we got the franchise disclosure document because he says you have to have it for 2 weeks or 10 days to review it, like legally.
So,
before you can sign the
what
franchise
is-
agreement. I'm gonna
What
have
is
to
the
check out the dates.
franchise owner saying? If you want to say,
Oh yeah, the guy on Facebook.
Oh,
The franchise owner on Facebook. What's he saying?
The meanie. What's he saying?
Oh, he's parroting. He's parroting. Crystal probably stole it all. She was in debt. Like parroting corporate speak, which is really funny.
Did you steal it?
Yeah, we did not steal anything.
No,
Mhm.
no, I did not.
They took it all to Spain.
Yeah.
They,
We put it in a single suitcase.
Yeah, and then filled it and then put it in our tiny little hotel room that we stayed at for a week.
We were in a hotel room
right.
with 3 dogs.
David,
And-
thank you for the $5 super chat. Why was the $10,000 Cloud City set and hundreds of other pieces at your home? Per Legal Eagle, you returned them to Brian after police intervention.
So I've gotten this question. And I've also gotten like, why didn't you talk about this? And because this was a piece of information that if Brian didn't give to Reckless Ben for his video, this was Brian's statement to make, right? So we had 2 Cloud City sets. One in which was at the store staying in the safe, and one of which I took home with me. Because when it's one of the most expensive Lego sets that exist, you're not going to keep 2 of them in a store, right?
Yeah.
And then we had done a comic convention shortly before all of this happened. And because we had a booth for both Not a Pipe Publishing and for Bricks and Minifigs, when we unloaded that all, there were a few of Brian's collection, like the smaller items that never got unloaded from the tote from that convention. And then I had a tub. I don't even know how many minifigs there were. But I had a tub about this big that they weren't even on the spreadsheet because I hadn't gotten around to inventorying them yet.
Yeah.
Like we're talking almost a year later, and Brian understood, like they hadn't gone into the spreadsheet because for each individual minifigure, I had to identify it, price it, confirm that all the parts were the parts that they were supposed to be, make sure it was identified right, and then put it on the spreadsheet, put a price tag on it, tag it. It's tedious work going through all of those. And so most of what I had left over were like, I can visually look at this and go, okay, these are a bunch of Han Solos. I already know we have a bunch of these. These are a bunch of these, Shadow Troopers. And I already know we have, like, these aren't a priority. And then I would kind of work through them every night at home, like slowly, right? Because I couldn't do them at the store because customers are coming in and you've got a bunch of minifigures that you haven't inventoried yet sitting out on the counter. That's just not a good idea.
Safe, yeah.
So
especially at your store, apparently,
Right?
we're
Yeah.
off the counter.
So as we started preparing for the move, as we started like packing everything up, going through and doing our garage sale and putting out like what we were going to donate, what we were packing with us, I found the tote from the previous convention and the tub with the minifigures. And then I already knew I had the Cloud City. So then it was reaching out to Brian and going, I've got these. And then there was a whole conversation about like, what do we do with them? Do we go to the police and hand it over in front of the police so that there's no question? Like, how do we do that without muddling everything? And so we agreed. Ben and I went and met with Brian and a friend of his, and we both mutually recorded the thing. I wrote out a handwritten inventory of all the minifigures real quick that I was taking. They were all still in the bags that his dad had put them in. And then we actually signed an on-the-spot document going, this is what she handed over. I was here on this date.
So it didn't need police intervention then?
No.
At this point, no, but at this point we were like, anything that we do from this point on is something that could then muddle the conversation. Right. And I didn't watch the video where like Coffeezilla actually kind of like almost ambushed me with that because I somehow missed the video where Brian and Ben had talked about that sale. I hadn't heard about that yet. And I was like, he was asking me and I was like, I don't know if I'm comfortable telling you about that because that's Brian's information to share.
You're talking about the other sale to Brian's sale of the other part?
Yeah. Like I had missed that video. And then he was like, no, this is the video. They already talked about it. Can you talk about that? Most of that got cut out of the show that we did with Coffeezilla, I'm presuming because of time. But yeah, that was one of those. I Had I
So why would legal
had I
eagles?
intended to steal his entire collection and flee the country, I would not have returned those to him without him knowing I had them at the house. Like
Right.
that's
So why would legal eagle then say that there was police intervention? And I'm just going off of the super
that's
chat.
weird.
I don't know that legal eagle.
no, I
didn't
don't
watch
think
the
that I
video.
don't know. I haven't seen that video, right?
Yeah.
I think Brian gave a statement to the Kaiser Police Department saying that I had returned those to him. And that's like the extent of what I know. I still haven't watched that video. I don't know who bought them from Brian. I don't know how much they got. I don't know. All I know is in the inventory that I had, some of those sets, I'd have to actually pull up the document. There were only like 2 or 3 sets that I returned to him along with the Cloud City. They would have been on my spreadsheet. All of the minifigures would not have been on the spreadsheet because I hadn't entered them in yet. Brian also had a couple of sets, like a box of battle packs and microfighters that we never got. He kept them in storage because they were duplicates and we never needed them. My understanding, so they were never on the inventory sheet. My understanding from what I've heard, not watching the video, is Brian took what he had in storage that we never got and what I returned to him and then sold them to somebody else.
Or had a
Okay.
sale of some kind.
That
Thank
was
you
my
for your-
And that's the sale that Coffeezilla was talking
Yes.
yes. Yeah.
about. Okay.
Thank you. Savvy
But
Turtle, thank you for the
I was never hiding it from Brian. Like I was upfront about it. He knew I was taking the minifigures. He knew I had a bunch of minifigures I hadn't inventoried yet. He knew how tedious it was as somebody that was working 70 hours a week running a business and trying to have a social life, inventorying 500 minifigures.
Yeah, my concern with this is that anything, when it gets more complicated, BAM will then use it to create a, oh, see, it's complicated, so nobody, people ought to, stop paying attention.
You
And
know
it's
what
like,
wouldn't have been complicated?
if they'd done a freaking inventory.
dun dun
Which they were
dun.
obligated
Or
to do.
reached out to me at any point in the last 2 years
Yeah,
and said,
They
hey, can you
coulda emailed
clarify
and
this?
said, some guy named Brian is saying he's got a set.
Yeah.
And she could have said, yeah, the contract's in your,
Yeah.
the spreadsheet's already in the email that you won't
But
let
that
me
would
in.
be easy.
And that would've
That would have been the
all
easy thing to
It's
do.
so funny because I was looking through my old text messages back in like I don't know, March, April, May, something like that of last year. I got random. I remember talking to you about this random out of nowhere text message from Matt Thomas, who when I first started as manager,
Who's Matt Thomas?
So when I first started, he was my point of contact with corporate. I believe he's now since been replaced with Kai. I don't know. Actually, if you go through all the past franchise disclosure documents, you can actually see his name on there and his position and when he leaves. I got a random out of nowhere. Hey, I heard something was going on with your store. I'm not really with corporate anymore, but I'm also helping out with Lynette in the Beaverton store. Just like checking in. And at that point, I'm super paranoid and I'm like, cool, nice to talk to you. I'm not answering any questions because I don't really believe you. At the time, he was still in some way connected with them. And this was way back when. There is no excuse for why they couldn't have reached out. They had my phone number. They had my email. At any time, they could have reached out and said, hey, can you send us some documents and clarify some stuff for us?
Yeah.
So when Eamon says to Reckless Ben, I don't know who Brian Menzel is. Do you think he's just like playing coy? Do you think he really doesn't know, or do you think he's just straight up lying?
I think there's no possible way he couldn't have known because the press release and the social media posts that we had all over our social media pages and corporate retained ownership of the Salem stores of all of my social media pages because they were created before I came on. So I'm going to take a minute to say the Facebook and Instagram pages for the Salem Bricks and Minifigs store that everybody is going on and saying like, you guys are thieves, you're ugly, you're a terrible person, I hope you die. That's me in those pictures. Because those were all pictures that I posted when I still owned there. I'm getting, you're so ugly. I hope you get hit by a car. Like horrible comments under me. It is me on there, not Amanda. They stopped.
Oh, they think you're Amanda. I was wondering, like, why you were getting hate.
And I don't have the ability to take any of those down.
You don't own
I don't have access to it. So that is absolutely going to go into our lawsuit for any harm that is being caused, because people are looking at my face and my name on those posts, and the fact that almost 2 years later, those posts are still up, and I'm getting death threats.
But you don't even look like her.
Apparently, I look enough like her, because the amount of times that I've had to scream, I am not Amanda.
Well, you said that was in, I think, that was in Reckless Ben's first video.
Yeah.
There's a shot of you saying, "I'm not her," and I thought it was odd, because I'd be like, well,
yeah,
who would confuse you guys? But apparently, people are.
A lot of the internet would confuse us.
Apparently.
A lot of the internet would confuse us. Yeah.
Interesting.
Somebody in the
white
comments
women
said
look
that I
alike.
had an argument
Yeah, I'm glad
with
you said it. I couldn't.
the same.
Thank you all.
I
It was
missed that. Sorry.
I wanted to so bad.
Oh,
Oh, bless.
Sorry, we missed that
Okay.
because she was telling me about something in the comments. What was that?
I said, all you white women look alike.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
that's
valid.
exactly the
Valid.
I mean,
That's
okay.
fair.
Right.
That's fair. You
Thank
could
you
have
for
been
your
more
service,
mean and
Paula.
said all of you middle-aged white women look alike. So I do appreciate that, because I have actually heard that comment in the last few days.
So how
Happily
many
married? I would never.
brick and
I would never.
minifigure franchises do you currently own?
How many do we currently own?
We currently own.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually, we would argue, one, because we believe it's still ours and it was taken incorrectly. But yeah, how many are we in control of? None. We had one that was seized.
Yeah.
Is that building now a franchise again, or is it just vacant? Or
So
Closed, right?
yeah, I do know, like, at last I checked, they haven't registered another LLC for that location. I
can't imagine it would be a good time to do it right now.
No,
Maybe wait a little bit.
I mean, we live in Portland. We don't live there. And I mean, Reckless Ben has posted a couple videos of him sending people in, and then somebody like following their car. I've been to Salem. I think we've been to Salem like 3 times since all this started. I'm certainly not going there. Absolutely not. So I don't know what's going on with it. I have a lot of people in Reddit. I gotta say, I was not expecting Reddit to be like a massive driving force of support. It is kind of insane, because YouTube was never really like, I'd watch videos here and there. That's his thing. I'm a TikTok girl, right? But Reddit has been.
She's got a Reddit army.
I do. I have like a
it.
little. They gave the Reckless Ben subreddit. They gave me my own special flair. Without like asking.
Nice.
Somebody jumped in on a comment and was like, we should get her own flair. And then like a couple hours later, I have this little like flair on it. And I'm like,
Love it.
what is happening? They've been great. So I'm getting
I love it.
and they're even in the comments, right? But like,
You're a public figure now.
I'm mentioned in a Wikipedia page, and I've been memed, which is insane.
We're gonna Comic-Con you now. You're gonna be part of the whole, like, you're gonna have your own character, like a superhero.
It's absolutely insane.
I love that.
Somebody in the comments said that my forthcomingness on the Reckless Ben subreddit in the very beginning was what like got him behind me, right?
Love
Because
it.
guess what? If you're not lying, you don't have to be evasive and avoid, and it's really easy to keep your story straight when you keep telling
the truth.
That's what Judge
So
Judy.
speaking of that, some people have said that
I'm getting a lot of people that are like, you should start your own store, right? And
that's part of the comments that a lot of people have said.
Let me say,
I
currently have no plans to start another retail store right now.
Too much.
Hypothetically, if I ever did that again, I am absolutely thinking brick by brick would be the perfect name.
Hell yeah.
I kind of feel like that would be perfect.
That
I
is.
currently have no plans because I can't afford it
I was
because
going
I
to say,
have
we
no
currently
money.
have no capital, so I don't know how that would possibly.
So unless there's some like venture capitalists out there that wants to like capitalize on my current
reach out.
notoriety, I am not above being I'm not above taking rich people's money to like
Well,
own my
I
own
do want to say
brand.
that your GoFundMe, I believe I added it in the description of our videos.
Oh, did
So
you?
if
Yeah.
anyone
That's
that's
a
watching
really
this
poor
is someone
segue timing after me having just said that.
Come on, Dave. David, I gotta get to these super chats. Come on now. Savvy Turtle,
Sorry.
thank you for the $5 super chat. Thank you for your service, Valhalla. And Savvy Turtle, thank you for your service. He's
Thank
a
you,
combat
Savvy
vet
Turtle.
too.
The segues for me are bad. I
Appreciate you.
it. I'm better at the segues than David. I just have to brag about it for a minute.
I
I-
heard
my-
money. I heard
My
they
brain
needed
doesn't
money, and I
operate
thought
on one
GoFundMe.
train track. It's
S Squirrel for the $5 super chat. Did Crystal ever show her copy of the franchise agreement, and if it said anything about consignment?
yeah.
Yes.
So the franchise agreement is actually like public. What's the word I'm looking for? It's in public because it's attached as an exhibit in our lawsuit.
Yeah,
And so there's,
I
like,
have it on my
Yeah,
computer.
we have
We've
copies
read
of
it.
We can show you.
We read
so it's out there in public. And there is one particular part in it where I don't know how you do a distinction between franchise services and or not consignment services and consignment. I don't understand.
Well, we can listen to Eamon try to
Right.
explain it if you want.
His own explanation was a product. He's
Yeah.
like, sometimes there's services that aren't a product, like when you hire a baker to make you cakes and then you sell the cakes. And I'm like,
Gosh,
pretty
This
sure
is
that
the
makes the cake.
stupidest thing that I have ever heard.
he just made me hungry.
How
Thank you for
does
the
he
$5
find
super
his way
chat.
to the office in the morning? That's what I want to know.
I
Yeah.
want someone to AI a BAM Star Wars Lego cartoon parody.
I want
Thank
somebody to create one of those, but maybe don't use AI because we own a book publishing company and
We're
we're
not
not
big
like,
AI
super
fans.
big fans of AI. So
That's right.
it would be awesome if somebody
Torrent-
did that though.
Torrent,
Torrent
thank
actually
you,
sent
we
me a
love you.
video.
Torrent sent you
Torrent,
this.
yeah, Dave, I sent you the Skybrow's Brick
of
and Mormon video. Now I gotta turn the
I've
volume
seen
down
this.
because I don't want to. I
We
haven't
don't
seen
get
this before.
copyright struck
Yeah, but I
for
don't want to get
I've seen
copyright.
this.
Yeah, but this is a whole video thing that's out there. There's Amanda, right?
Yeah.
I
Pretty in that
genuinely don't
video.
know if it's Amanda or if it's supposed to be
That's
me.
Brandon.
Oh, Ben.
Wow.
They made like
made it.
anime.
Is that
He
supposed
does
to be you?
look like
No, that must be Amanda.
So I'll put this in the channel description too.
Wow.
I was listening to it earlier, but I don't know if the music's copyrighted or not. I don't want to look
Yeah.
at the stash.
Yeah, probably not, right?
Wow.
Rob Pate for the $10 super chat. Anyone believe this was a type of Ponzi scheme? Large setup fees, small inexperienced buyers destined to fail. Corporate swoop in, steal, cheap, and resell. Rinse, repeat.
It's never Rico, y'all. It's never Rico.
Listen, one time can be an accident. Patterns are patterns.
Pattern's a word that you
Sesame
need for Rico.
Street, right?
Mhm.
Patterns
So-
are Rico. It's never Rico.
Except when it is. Except when it
might
is.
be
Right?
Rico.
Henry Turtle, thank you for the
It might
$10
be
super
Rico.
chat. Exactly, Ben. Tom Clancy told me at Walter Reed, in 2005 to write fiction books as my outlet since I can't
that's
tell
cool.
anyone my stories.
That's awesome. We're accepting submissions for our literary journal volume 4 right now. So look up the company.
Or we
Oh,
open
I have a book in the work. It's called
general.
Diary of a Divorce. And it's literally just text messages between a couple right before, during, and right after a divorce.
The full arc.
Yeah.
we
Yep.
we open for full submissions every August, but we're also like way behind on actually reading our last submissions.
That's my next couple of weeks. Today was
You're
paying.
supposed to put them
Today was
on.
paying some royalties. I paid authors today. I always
Yeah.
feel good about them getting,
Aw.
but
Yay!
it's drudgery.
Real
But
books, real people. I love it. Thank you, Jason, for the $5 super chat. I can't believe I am still this mad at how BAM Corporate is handling this 3 weeks in.
Right.
Right?
It'll go away in 3 to 4 days. It'll all be fine. The internet outrage will fade away.
What they said.
Oh my God.
And they made it so much worse for themselves.
Yes, every time.
We're
Well, the funny
rude.
thing is their own little
We're
internal document was leaked that says
Immediately
this will
leaked.
go away in 1 to 3 months if there's no more fuel added. And right away they were doing interviews, and every time they would do interviews,
Adding
I'd
more
go,
fuel.
I'm pretty sure this is fuel.
I love the fact that they sent that out internally, and it was on Reddit in like
Seconds.
20 minutes.
The Lego Queen. Jay Heath, 5150 for the $10 super chat. Did you know Ammon McNeff and Joshua went on their LDS mission together? A YouTuber
did
pulled
know
up
that.
a newspaper article from June 20th, 2004 about it 3 days ago. It has pics and tells about them. Yes, that's why I'm in a different belief system than everyone else. I'm just saying. And thank you again for your super chat. And
Yeah, I
yes,
did see that. I saw that. Saw that picture.
and Jennifer Sweet 8081 for the $5 super chat. Oh, Wendy, I'm here from BJ Stream. I've never had a Lego set, but I would probably buy a Frida Kahlo set. Does Lego sell one? Cute picture. Thank you so much. I collect Chicano art, and these are just a few of my pieces back here.
Is
I
there
have
a Frida Kahlo?
So I don't think they've actually done a Frida Kahlo, but
no, but tell them. I know what you're gonna say.
do you know where I'm going with this?
Yes. Tell
The
them.
Marilyn Monroe set.
Oh no, I thought you were going to talk
Am
about. I
going
thought
a
there
different
was
place? Yeah.
like, you know how they have the art pieces, the
Yes.
art. One?
Yeah.
I thought they did a
But
free one of that. I could
no,
be-
but they put out the essentially where you can make 3 different mosaics
yeah,
out of the same part. So they did the Andy Warhol Marilyn Monroe one. There's a Darth Maul. They did, and then they did a Beatles one. There's several of those.
Wow.
Somebody on Bricklink created a design for a Frida Kahlo mosaic that you
I
can
thought I
actually
saw.
pull the
Yes.
instructions.
None
and
of
the
it beats
parts
Starry
on.
Night, so I don't know what you guys are going on about.
I
Starry
love,
Night.
I did Starry Night.
love Starry Night.
We did that in a head-to-head face-off
They
stream.
did.
Oh wow.
They
Yeah.
did.
It sucked.
Yeah.
It sucked
It was-
real bad.
It took all the fun out of it, but it's still awesome. And then I
Starry
had
Night
some
was a
workers over at
monster
the house,
film,
and they
too.
knocked it off the wall and broke it. and all that.
Ooh,
Oh no, I didn't know that.
yeah.
Thank
I
you.
still say that I won that because he cheated. He didn't put that background together like he was supposed to. He
I
didn't.
absolutely did. Each blue was in the right color or right spot.
Nope, not a chance.
Asheron
Not a
Collective for the $5 super chat. Lego Gate was uploaded this morning. 15 songs, various
Oh,
artists
wow.
and various styles. Rubber Ducks, Calm, American Folk Voice, Ha Ha. Or
That's
LOL.
outstanding.
Check
Love
that
it.
out. Yep.
There's an album. now.
Love
Excuse
it.
me, y'all.
Yeah, go ahead, babe. Just call me Hen. Thank you for the £2. Chris Scene franchise owner that went through the same. I don't know if I understand your question.
Yes, I'm
Oh.
guessing they're asking about the franchise owner in Florida. We got a little sneak peek of part of that video before Reckless Ben went public with his part of the video. I've never actually spoken to the owner in person, but I have seen his video and his couple follow-up appearances talking about his experiences. The Last Relic. I can't say I'm surprised by it.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm not
Again,
surprised either.
once is an accident, twice is a pattern.
Right? Michigan Farm Boy for the $10 super chat. You have to have the FDD for 10 days or 2 weeks before you are legally allowed to sign it. It's a cooling off period to review and consult your own lawyer. You may want to check on the dates. I think Michigan Farm Boy was trying to give you some legal advice. I love
I'm gonna
it.
have to go back through my emails
that.
and
That's
actually
good
see
to know.
when it was sent to us.
I'm
Yeah.
all we'll check it because I'm on the team now. Thank you, Michigan Farm
Right.
Boy.
Yeah.
Appreciate
I
that.
don't have I don't have the
He
exact.
just got home from work and jumped on the Lego.
Well, so Michigan Farm Boy, I'm not sure what part of Michigan you're from, but I was born in Blissfield. So Michigan Farm Boy, yeah, I
You get
see
it, huh?
If you know where Blissfield is, if you know Michigan Farm Boy's going, yeah.
That's cute. Thank you again, Soulbound, for the $5 super chat. I had the best Lego childhood. Oh, I had the original Mindstorm.
Mindstorms.
You know what?
That's
Someone has a
really
really
awesome
good
for
idea.
you, but trying to put together and certify a Mindstorm set is a particular kind of hell that I would not wish on my worst enemy. Well, I
Why?
would wish on my worst
I don't know
enemy.
that. Why on?
There's a bunch of rubber bands.
Oh,
Ay.
Crystal, if we could get the last relic on, would you be willing to come on with him and you guys can share some war stories?
is that the other guy?
Yeah.
Oh, is that the
Florida.
Florida guy?
It's,
Yeah.
Listen,
I think it's fine to say what you're feeling about that.
I mean, you can say no. It's okay if you say no.
I'm not opposed to it. He went through something terrible. I feel for him there. I am uncomfortable with how casually he dropped some slurs in his follow-up video. That makes me really uncomfortable. And anybody who watched that follow-up, I don't remember who he did that with. That makes me
That was with Camelot. And
Yeah.
that's appropriate for that audience, though.
I mean, it may well be appropriate. I'm personally uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
And I can tell him to his face that I'm uncomfortable, and I can tell him to his face why he shouldn't be casually dropping those slurs. I can tell him that as a member of the queer community, as somebody who had the other slur targeted at me as a member of the neurodivergent community. So I'm not opposed to it, but I'm also not going to pretend like I'm not disquieted about anybody who casually drops slurs. That I have a problem. They're not people that I accept in my life personally as close friends. But I'm also not going to be like, yeah, awesome, I'd love to get on there, without saying like, I can do that, but if you say those things while I'm in a chat with you, I'm going to call you out on them. Like me or hate me for that, whatever. People, Ben says, if people are going to hate me for whatever reasons, let them hate me for who I actually am than what they think.
Well, there's
about
always going to be 20% of the people out there on the internet that hate you no matter what you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I have a
Joey-
vagina. That's like
Life.
I'm pretty used to that.
Yeah.
Like there's a definite, there's a portion of people that are going to hate me simply because I am a woman. That is life.
I just, as FYI, I just heard some thunder. So if I go
I
out,
can hear that. I can hear
yeah,
that.
did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. David's in
if-
Weather Watch. So the
If
tree.
I like disappear, it's because either the
Yeah.
treehouse was taken away
Yeah.
or I lost power or something.
Right.
Well,
FYI.
yeah. We're
Yeah.
having red flag warnings in my town right now. We have high gusts of wind and no
Oh,
humidity.
wow.
Joey 8th set 375 for the $5 super chat. According to the new Reddit post, Ben is representing himself. How bad of an idea is this?
There's a famous
First of
phrase
all,
about
we don't know
that.
that's
Formerly, we had a lawyer who could tell us what that famous phrase is
Yeah.
about
A
representing
fool
yourself.
for a client.
Yeah. So even lawyers know that if you represent yourself, you have a fool for a client.
And we are
I
almost
said
done
that
with
yesterday.
Uh-huh.
I was just
I've
saying
only
that
got-
yesterday, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't.
But
that-
here's
that-
the
It'll make
interesting
a great
thing. Okay,
video.
but
I'm not saying that he's stupid. It's saying
It's
even a
good
lawyer
internet.
gets a lawyer. Like you don't.
yeah. So
Yeah.
well, we talked about it. A YouTuber took my channel down and then sued me, and then I won. And I had a lawyer representing me
Right.
because
Yeah.
that's what you do. So,
Doctors don't treat
but
them.
what's confusing is that when the COO was on the live stream and Reckless Ben was in chat, he had made a comment that Reckless Ben's attorney received this, and it was a woman apparently. She's received this, and therefore Reckless Ben should have constructively received it. That was his statement. So if he has, why are they referencing an attorney if he's going at it solo?
Yeah, it's a good question.
I don't know. Are we 2.5?
And I'm missing a piece. I'm going to turn my
Love it.
camera off so I can dig around on the
Okay.
floor for it.
You're gonna. It's on your chair.
I
Thank you
know.
for the $5 super chat. Stubbins. So is the biggest takeaway that everyone loves Lego? Yes. It's not political, doesn't take sides, loves its
Right.
customers, and won't stick up for BAM.
Yeah.
Right? Yep.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Obviously,
Lego
I'm
has
seeing-
united us like nothing before. Well, at least on the internet.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
parents are even asking about it, which is
That's cute.
Crazy.
We went into the Lego store yesterday to buy our
I
sets.
told him.
Did you tell him?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I don't know if you
Lexi,
said
thank
it
you for
live.
the-
Oh, maybe I didn't mention that live.
Yeah, he
yes,
did.
we were in the Lego store
Oh, he
buying
did,
these.
okay.
Was that on there? Did
He
everybody hear that? Yeah. Even the folks at the Lego store know.
Yeah. She
Love
was
it.
awesome.
It was
That's
very
awesome.
She was like, come back during the summer and get a part-time job.
How cute. Thank you for the $5 super chat, T-Rex Travels. It just amazes me how every single time it seems like Legal Eagle ends up on the wrong side of history.
He
I don't-
does. Illegal Eagle's been wrong.
That
on
was
a lot
someone
of
that said something wrong
legal
about your
takes.
case earlier. They were talking about.
I mean, I'm familiar with Legal Eagle. I don't know what he might
So
have
Legal
thought.
Eagle is a YouTuber, claims to be a lawyer. He usually has bad legal takes on things. So a lot of us that are practicing lawyers that do YouTube criticize him heavily. And in fact, when he posted his video, I tweeted it out and I said, did he actually get one right this time? And I thought he had, until I hear that, police were involved with an exchange of minifigures, and apparently that's not true. So he didn't get one right this time.
So he got that one wrong too.
I mean, I can
don't
say the police weren't there when we exchanged them.
Right.
It was Brian
he
and
was
his
wrong.
friend and Ben and I in a Safeway parking lot.
Yeah.
At Cleared Weird, thank you for the. I'm almost done with super chats, folks. Thank you for the $10 super chat. One question I have with the franchise agreement: do the other franchises affected have any legal recourse against corporate due to their role in destroying trust in the brand?
I mean, you guys have read the franchise agreement. You said you had that, right? There absolutely is. There is wording in there about the responsibility on both parties to protect the brand, protect the image of the brand.
And I would say, even if the wording wasn't there, there's an implied obligation on
What you're
both
purchasing
parties.
is the brand awareness. That being said, kind of the situation we've been stuck in for the last 2 years is any kind of thing coming from out of that, you're bound by an arbitration and mediation agreement. The way to get around that is to prove that
they violated the contract and therefore that clause
or that their actions were so there's the legal term that I'm like, their actions were so, I'm going to
grossly negligent
egregious,
or egregious.
that they then forfeit the right to demand that.
And that's what
That's interesting how that works, because in Michigan, that's not how the law works.
Quick
An arbitration
question.
agreement is binding.
How would that work?
Quick
And
question.
how's that different? Because that's an I think I'm curious about that.
So we in Michigan,
Hold on,
Okay.
if I may. Does your arbitration require you to go to a different state?
So originally, when we first filed our first lawyer in Portland sent a letter saying they disagree with all of this. We want to have a meeting. Corporate reached back out and said, if you want to do that, the meeting has to be in person in Utah. And also, if you do that, we're going to sue you. And then our lawyer went, you need to find a Utah lawyer.
And we were in Spain, so flying to Utah would have been prohibitively expensive.
Yeah.
So the one RICO case that was half dismissed, it was
Yeah.
dismissed due to arbitration reasons.
Okay.
And it was because of that, that was the part that was upheld, I think. Maybe. I don't know. No. I'm messing this all up. Oh my God. I'm sorry,
you're not.
BJ. You did such a good job today. You melted my brain though. It was that was that was the reason that it didn't go through, is because the arbitration and that was that held the whole thing up. So it was part of also the RICO conspiracy that the arbitration being so far out of the realm of possibility for most people. Why I wanted to ask real quick.
I mean, we filed our lawsuit. We essentially had one meeting in which Ammon showed up. Matt and Ammon showed up without their lawyer. We showed up with our attorney. And then there were a lot of we'll send you this, you send us and then
they showed up without their lawyer.
Yeah.
Which was very odd.
Yeah. And then there was please send us the recording of this meeting from our attorney. And then we didn't hear anything back from them. And then we finally told our attorney, Like we waited 2 weeks to hear back from them after that. And then we finally told her she had the lawsuit ready, and we said, file it. We're not hearing back from them. And so we filed it. And then I don't even know how long after that went by, where they responded back and said, no, we're going to hold you to, we don't agree with your right to file this lawsuit. We're going to hold you to arbitration. And then, every time any interaction happens, it's 2 or 4 weeks before we actually get any response. Their last response after they filed the thing with Ben was like, you have until Friday to agree to this arbitration, or we're going to add you to this RICO claim. And we're still just delayed.
So they want to commit RICO in an attempt to compel you to agree to arbitration, or else they're going to add you to the complaint.
Isn't it? It's so wild to it's like sure would be bad if something happened to your store, and we're gonna get the cops in on it. Like it really is. It sounds like it's something out of a gangster movie.
It's like an old school mob protection racket. It really is.
I feel kind of bad for our attorney because this, she's a one woman law firm, right? And
she's going to get paid. She'll be fine.
I don't think she knew what she was. We were telling her about the Reckless Ben thing, and she's like, I'm not really online.
How old is she?
You are now. She's young. She's like younger than we are.
She's fantastic, but she's young, and I don't think she, I think she was kind of unprepared for what was.
That's kind of how my attorney was. He wasn't really watching a lot of YouTube and stuff, and then he didn't know the world of it. And then he found out really quick, and he was like, "Oh my God, this is so much nonsense."
Yeah.
But he was loving it. I think.
You guys keep talking and take the next question, but my kid is waiting on us to finish this for dinner. Frankie offered to go get food for us.
Oh.
So if you want to message them your order.
What I want. Okay.
So we're gonna
go ahead.
My kid just did the same thing.
I mean, it's 9:00 at night here, and they're kind of waiting for food.
I don't blame you.
And, right. And Michigan Farm Boy, thank you for the $5 super chat.
Right.
Michigan Farm Boy is familiar with Blissfield. He's south of Lansing, and he's gonna have fun weather noises too.
Oh yes.
Love that. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the support tonight, Michigan Farm Boy. Excited Utterance has a question, but she wants to change her question. Hold on. She asked a different one, and I have hopefully I started. Did I start it?
You can't ask multiple questions.
No. She only asked one. She asked one. She just wanted to change it. Do we all think Ben is secretly Mormon? Was her question. And thank you for the $8 Aussie super chat.
This Ben or the other Ben?
No. I think she means Ben. Oh, maybe she means our Benjamin.
So your clarification wasn't very good there, Excited Utterance.
No, it sure wasn't. Hella.
Re-clarify your clarification.
I can clarify my religious background, which is bizarre. So both my parents are Presbyterian ministers, retired now. So I was raised in the Presbyterian tradition, but I am of Jewish descent, which is unusual to have somebody who is a Jewish Presbyterian.
That is
I left my faith behind when I was in my, I would say, mid-20s. So what would that be? Many years ago, and wrote a book about it. Folks can check that out. I wrote a comic novel about kind of processing that. So that's Some of Our Gods. Well, I think one of you guys picked that up, right? So you'll get a kick out of that.
Cute.
Yeah, I did actually. I picked it up. My plan was to read it before the stream, but then Valhalla kept dragging me into other streams, so I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, you've got
and if you ordered a physical copy, it wouldn't have gotten there in time. But
no, I got it on Kindle.
Nice.
Yeah.
But enjoy that one. It's funny.
And
one of those RICO things today was 480 something pages.
Jeez, you guys are crazy. Yeah, and I actually had to work this week, so it's my volunteer job, but I make a commitment and I have to be there.
Yeah. So Excited Utterance clarified her question. She wants to know if Reckless Ben is secretly Mormon.
Oh, I thought that's what she meant.
I have no idea.
I think his last name is Schneider, so I'm gonna say probably not.
he in a video he talks about it and he says that he's not Mormon, but he grew up with a bunch of Mormons, and a bunch of Mormons were like some of his best friends, and he's actually got cousins that are Mormons.
Yeah.
I watch too much YouTube.
So if you guys want a good,
I have been the last couple weeks.
If you guys want an interesting niche little thing about Mormons in Michigan, since Benjamin's from Michigan, there's a book called Assassination of a Michigan King. I don't know if you've ever read it. So when Joseph Smith died and they started moving west, there was a group that decided to move into the Midwest and move north, and they moved into Michigan. And the leader of that group was Jesse James Stagg. And he set up a colony on Beaver Island out in Lake Michigan. And he declared himself king, ran for governor a few times, kept losing, eventually was elected to like state house, and then he ended up getting murdered, stabbed in the back by one of his 12 wives' former husbands. It's a really interesting little niche Mormon story out of Michigan.
That's fascinating.
Wow.
That was really right before they went to Illinois, right?
It was, because then they got into they almost started a war with the Native Americans over fishing rights. And they were basically a giant nuisance in northern Michigan. I think they eventually got sort of kicked out of the state and then probably went to Illinois.
They went to Illinois for some years and then eventually got chased out of Illinois and ended up down in Utah.
Yeah. No, there was another group that already went down to Utah, although they might have gone down to meet up with them later on. Anyways, interesting little Mormon Michigan tidbit thing.
Yeah,
so
getting an island and declaring yourself king thing is fascinating. Like that's, you know.
I know, right? Oh, did I do this wrong? Oh, I did.
Missing a piece? No, I'm not. I'm just blind.
How far along are you guys in your sets?
I would say I haven't built the Balrog itself, but I'm more than two-thirds. So
I'm not as far as he is.
Crystal just looked like she's so much shame on her face. Just there. She's like, oh.
Listen, it's a bunch of light browns and dark browns, and it's very dark in here. You have.
When Valhalla first saw the size of your sets,
it's challenging.
He's like, oh, you know what? They're probably going to be really fast at building.
It's like, she's got a Lego store. She's got to be good at this, right?
I think I've almost finished a toe. Well, and the way these ones are designed are like the inside is dense. Like you have columns. This is like a full dense. The feet, like all of this is one solid. It's like if you've ever built I built the Yoda and the Grogu and the cat, right? And the black cat, any of those.
Folks in the comments can tell me if that sounds like a lot of excuses. I think it's a lot of excuses.
I don't know if you saw what just went through my face, but the temptation to pull a cat.
Yes.
Wait till she eats, man. Don't get yourself hurt.
That's right. That's right.
I haven't eaten all day. Exactly.
Excited utterances in the chat saying that Reckless Ben is the one who created the whole sort of narrative. And so I want to ask you, do you believe that the narrative that Reckless Ben has presented in his video is accurate or the most accurate? Or what are your thoughts on that?
Narrative, I don't know.
I don't have any. There's nothing in his storytelling
a more
specific.
Listen, my mouth often misspells the words as they come out of it. More specific narrative, because people have called out the $200,000 collection. If that's what they're talking about, I don't know what.
I've already excused that away. I said it's a moniker.
Yeah.
It's a name for the collection. It doesn't mean that it's actually,
I had no idea what he was going to title it. I didn't see any of that stuff until the entire public saw it. So I have no idea.
But I mean, I think.
Let me ask you this: who do you think stole the Lego?
I know who I
think is responsible. Right? At the end of the day, whether or not it was, Brandon and Josh took it and Bam was unaware, that's still on Bam because they entrusted Brandon and Josh to be the people who were doing the inventory of the store they were going to buy. The point I was trying to make in a video yesterday was imagine you were going to sell a car and you were like, I don't know what this car is worth. I'm going to go find the buyer and ask them, how much do you think the car is worth? That's crazy talk. Like, and so if Josh and Brandon stole the sets and BAM didn't do the necessary due diligence to know what was in the store they were taking over, Josh and Brandon were employees of BAM. They were not franchisees when they took it over. So if their employees stole from them, that's on BAM.
And it's also your responsibility to be like, oh yeah, maybe we got fooled. We should probably do, something about this.
Yeah, and take ownership and own the responsibility for their error too.
Did you guys expect the corporate's response to be what corporate's response was?
Yeah.
Like, what? I guess you did expect this?
She did.
They warned us.
I'm always too generous with people.
Kai
I'm
McAllister told us exactly what they were going to do.
Yeah, just trying to drag it out and make it too expensive to fight back.
Ben likes to assign the best possible motivations
once they calm
to people.
down, they're going to be sensible and they're going to realize this makes no sense. It's not good for them.
Yeah.
Nope,
the moment Brandon saw me lock the door on the store and turn off the close sign and said, "Hand me your keys," nothing after that corporate does is going to surprise me. Kai McAllister warned us.
Yeah.
They warned Brandon. Brian, good Lord, too many
And so
names.
let me ask you this. I want a clarification as well. Kai, was he the one that was on the phone with you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And Valhalla, it's not your question to answer.
I know the answer. My bad.
I just
No, and
want to clarify.
even at the beginning of that, he introduces himself.
Okay.
So even if they try to be like, that's not really the low-level employee.
Low-level employee.
Low-level corporate employee.
Well, what
guy.
is his level of employment?
He's like fifth in charge of the store.
Yeah.
But
But
also,
Valhalla, it's not your question.
But also, like, there's an entire part in that conversation that our lawyer has that we haven't released, where Ben is asking him, is there anybody else that we can talk to? Is there anybody above you that we can work with this? And Kai is like, no, I'm the one. Like, I'm the highest up. Like, I have the authority to do this tonight. So any like low-level employee, why would you send a low-level employee to a store in which you thought there was going to be hostility and you, in your own words, had to go in and do a hostile takeover?
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that? Are you
Seems silly.
Are you a narcissist or are you incompetent? Because I don't know that there's a in between there.
Yeah.
You said that Reckless Ben didn't release the entire audio of the conversation, correct? But you have it.
Conversation? No, he did not.
But you have it, right?
Reckless Ben never had the Kai conversation.
Oh no, he didn't have that.
No, we had that conversation. We released that parts of that conversation ourselves after Reckless Ben's video came out. When corporate started their kind of little, we're going to discredit them thing. We released part of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but you didn't release the whole phone call.
No. Or the other conversations I have recorded.
You're saving those?
Yep.
We have 2 more super chats. X Topher for $5. Thank you so much. Hi, Crystal. With the talk of the store location being risky, I was wondering if you were able to get insurance for the consignment agreement.
Yeah. So, the store had insurance. We had to file a couple insurance claims every single time we went through the break-ins. And so our insurance claim was for the value within the store. And because when we purchased it, we purchased it based on the purchase agreement price from the store. So adding in any of Brian's consignment collection stuff, it wasn't an issue. I've been asked a lot whether I filed an insurance claim or not. And no, I didn't. This is also one of those hindsight things that it had literally never occurred to me until somebody made a comment yesterday or the day before, after Matt or Ammon brought up the insurance thing. So,
but I don't know that we could have, because we would have ended up in a situation.
I was getting to that. So it had never occurred to me that night, because our immediate aftermath of that night was trying to find a lawyer. Right. And even she never mentioned no, but I genuinely had not thought hostile takeover, I could even file any kind of insurance claim. So maybe that's on my own. I don't know, But the other side of that was I don't have a personal insurance policy, right? The BAMF Salem 1 LLC has an insurance policy.
But isn't that the one that would cover the consignment good?
Yes,
Yes,
but that's
but-
also the LLC that corporate said we are taking back from you. And
So we need
So
to
it's almost that the LLC would have to be suing itself.
exactly. And the other side of that is all of the paperwork and information for my insurance, my taxes, my absolutely everything was in the office at the store
and
that I
it's-
was locked out of.
and we're locked even out of the
So
system.
even being able to call up, if I could even remember what insurance company we had signed up through, I was locked out of the email and I was locked out of the office with all the paperwork. So like even had I been able to, even had I realized it was a thing I should be doing, I
Wouldn't
don't
have been
even
able
know
to.
how I would have been able to do it. I had no insurance, like no policy number, nothing. It was all in the store.
And if we'd reached
In
out to BAM,
hindsight, probably not the best thing, but
well, and if we'd reached out to BAM, they would have said, you can't, it's our LLC.
Yeah.
Like that is their position, is we own the LLC.
yeah.
So we wouldn't have been able to.
Now, as an attorney, I would be arguing, well, there wasn't actually an assignment of the membership shares. And so the LLC is still in our name, and I can make a claim and operate it as much as I want. And in fact, I can show up here with a locksmith and kick you guys out. But that is like the legal position that I would take, but you don't expect everyone to necessarily know that, I guess.
Yeah, it had never even occurred to me. I mean, my extent of filing insurance claims was like, break-ins and car accidents. Like I did not even, it genuinely it did not occur to me. I don't think it occurred to you.
Oh no.
Like
I was like,
Yeah.
well, we can't do that. We don't own the company. Like,
I didn't
until
even
we
think.
establish that we own the company,
Yeah.
I'm sure the insurance company themselves would have said, you get that figured out between you and BAM before we're going to pay you anything.
Yeah. In hindsight, it probably would have been a good idea because they would have sent investigators.
Yeah, it might
in,
have
right?
kicked things
Maybe.
off. It might have
I don't
started
know.
things moving.
I don't know.
Yeah, and there's also a thing called the deck action, which I'm assuming Oregon has as well. It's basically just a declaratory action, and it says, court, declare who owns this policy, who's the beneficiary of it, how it's
Yeah.
going to be managed and distributed, and things like that. They're very common. Deck actions are actually extremely common, and you probably could have maybe even gone that route a bit.
Yeah, and that would have been really helpful to
Yeah.
have that,
Didn't even think about it.
I mean, that's the one takeaway that I have as an attorney, that all of this, like everyone got attorneys involved way too late, just every party, not just you guys, but all the parties, even for BAM corporate to show up at a meeting with you and your attorney and them
Our
not to
attorney
have
was like,
attorneys.
that's crazy. They were like, we don't need our attorney. I mean, because it wasn't like a surprise. This was
Yeah.
a scheduled meeting, and we said, okay, this is who we're bringing in, via email beforehand. And we said, we expect you to have representation.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want later you to be able to say,
They
we
didn't
don't know.
They
And they were
didn't
like,
want
nah,
us.
we don't want.
Yeah, they
we
didn't
don't
want us to bring a lawyer to that meeting.
Of course not.
No.
Yeah, they also still haven't provided us with the video that they took on responsibility of recording that meeting and still won't provide it to us, which is their whole basis of possibly including us in their RICO thing. So
Because of the meeting.
yeah.
So that's
Apparently, I threatened them during the meeting that they recorded and promised to turn the recording over to our attorney and have not.
So one of the things about extortion, right,
Yeah.
is extortion, like the typical is, hey, if you don't give me money, I'm going to call the cops on you because of what your thing is illegal.
Yeah.
That's like black and white extortion.
Yeah.
And so if they're trying to say that you committed a crime by threatening them during that meeting, and we're gonna if you insist that this gets produced or something along those lines, then we're gonna add you to this lawsuit.
Yeah.
It smacks of extortion.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
They're
be-
literally accusing you of committing a crime with potential consequences unless you play ball.
Yeah.
Michigan
That's
Farm
illegal.
Board, thank you for the $10 super
Grab my
chat. Another
card.
way around the contract terms might be if it was invalid to begin due to the cooling off period, but that may also take away some of your possible remedies if it was never valid.
Yeah, I'd have to actually figure out when I got the franchise disclosure document. It's been so long.
What
ago.
was it? 10 years or 10 days? It has to. I
Yeah.
don't know
You
that.
said 2 weeks, 10 to 10 days to 2 weeks or something, or 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'd have to see if I could dig it up in my email, or whether it's in the Salem email or whether it's in the Slack channel. I don't know, but I will take some time to look and see if I can figure that out.
It's interesting that a franchise agreement has the same sort of like back out policy of some of these sham contracts, like a multi-level marketing type thing or a timeshare.
Yeah.
And X Bloodbath X, thank you for the $5 super chat. Do they know who had the storage unit in Salem that the U-Haul went to that was a previous franchise owner allegedly?
Oh
I
yeah,
can speculate based on my own past experiences.
please speculate away.
We like speculation.
So I don't remember timelines. So I'm going to be really bad with dates. Sorry, because this was a while ago. So at some point when I was either management, because they were still paying me an hourly rate because there was conversation about working off the clock. When I got hired on as manager, corporate had assumed ownership of a franchise location that a different franchisee had opened, Matt Bauman. And then Matt Bauman had retired. And the story I heard was that he had retired and his manager, Austin, then went on to open
Bricks and
Beyond, like a couple blocks down the street from the Bricks and Minifigs location in Kaiser. Austin is a great guy. Go see him if you are in that area. We were in there a couple weeks ago. He's always been awesome. But at some point during all of this, right after I'm working as manager, corporate calls me up and says, we're thinking about suing Matt Bauman because he wouldn't accept their offer for his inventory in the store. And basically corporate has the right, the right of first option, but you don't have to take that option. And so they gave him a number and he said no. And so he took all of his inventory out of the store. And so when corporate came in to reopen the location, they had to restock a completely empty store to have it not be like sitting there. It took a couple of months. This was all right before I started working for them. I started working them only like 2 months after their grand opening.
So
right?
This is is 2023 then, right?
This is way back. This is when I first started. I believe 2023, right?
Okay.
They call me up one day and say, Matt Bauman has a storage unit. We're thinking about suing him because we think he's selling his inventory to Austin to stock this other store. Can you go out and meet with him at this storage unit and do an inventory for us? And I walked in to that storage unit at like 7:00 at night after a day at work. And they wanted me to go through and do an itemized inventory of a storage unit that was filled top to bottom with minifigures and sets in boxes and loose bulk, an inventory that would take 5 people at least a full day to go through. And they wanted me to do it in like a span of 2 hours. And I'm on the phone with them going, listen, I could take some pictures, but there's no way. That is the extent of my knowledge with what happened. I was in there for maybe an hour when there is no possible way I can do this.
Are you aware of any lawsuit that ultimately got fired or like filed involving that gentleman that you mentioned?
I am not aware. I am aware that there are some non-disclosure agreements involving those parties involved in that. I am not involved in any of those non-disclosure agreements.
Do you know when those non-disclosure agreements came into existence?
We don't.
I don't know.
I'm just trying to figure out why, if there was a storage unit in 2022, prior to 2023, because this is before you had the franchise yourself, why there would be a storage unit with Lego sitting in there for essentially 4 years at least. If they were to be moving stuff out of there in October.
So there's another storage unit.
Oh, there's another storage unit.
While I was in Spain, and again, I have not been given any kind of orders legally by the judge, by lawyers, anything not to talk about this. So while I was in Spain, an attorney representing the previous franchise owner of the Canby, Oregon location reached out to me and said, you've been to the Canby store. You've seen the inventory. We have a bunch of pictures. Do you think you can testify before a judge about what you presume the value of these photos to be? Now, I don't know whether
when was this?
This was when we were in Spain, so it would have been sometime in
2025.
2020, sometime in 2020, in the span of 2024. I don't know exactly when. I could pull up those exact dates.
That's fine.
Right? Because we moved there no, you're right. January of 2025. It would have been somewhere in, I could pull up my emails. March, April, sometime around there. And so he said, would you be willing to look at these pictures and, speak before a judge and give your assessment of the inventory? I did that. I appeared via Zoom and gave my testimony. The judge asked some questions. Corporate tried to call in my, what's the word I'm looking for? Like my qualifications to assess Lego inventory. I don't know how all of that settled. I know the rumors that I heard and the stories that I heard involving 3 franchise owners of the Canby location allegedly deciding to exit their franchise agreement. I know allegedly there was an entire store full of inventory that allegedly disappeared in the middle of the night. And allegedly the store owner that I spoke to and testified on his behalf, what I was shown and testified to were the last pictures he had of the inventory inside the store. Allegedly.
So the U-Haul truck that showed up, according to BAM Corporate, in October to the Eugene, Oregon location, does the timing work in your mind that could have been associated with that whole storage unit thing?
If they made a deal with Matt Bauman to buy the last of his inventory in his storage unit in Salem, I wouldn't know about it. If they theoretically had the Canby inventory, that would have been in Portland. But again, I have no idea where that could have been. It's a little weird that we have to go which storage unit because there's maybe more than one. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. The dude showed up in a U-Haul truck. I heard him on the phone saying something to somebody saying, yeah, I'm in a U-Haul. I'm going to go pick up a truck. That's it.
You're talking about November
14th. Yeah.
November 14th. Brandon showed up.
Any of that other stuff I'm speculating about. I genuinely don't know. It's weird. Okay. Like it's weird.
All right. Interesting. Yeah, because the whole U-Haul truck thing is interesting. Is it plausible that he rented a U-Haul truck instead of renting a car because he needed to drive around a camper, apparently? I mean,
no,
I
that's
guess
impossible.
I don't know.
In theory, it's possible, right? We're not.
I don't think they have trailer hitches on them.
Yeah, they do.
I
use them.
If that's what he did, he got the wrong vehicle for that job.
He
got the wrong vehicle for it. But my other point is that deny it and say it was a rental car, and then be
Right.
like, "Oh yeah, it was a U-Haul, but it was for this completely different other reason."
Yes,
And
that's
Yeah.
right.
you know that's the thing that calls that all.
This
in
head has
yeah.
been falling apart for the last 30 minutes straight on this.
I was
toothless
going to
video.
ask how your build's going, Valhalla.
It's not going well. It's not going well.
That
Shall I
never
show you
happened.
mine? I got to show you guys mine. This thing's awesome.
Gee,
It's really
That
cool.
I'm
Oh, so
That-
cool.
So
This
cool.
thing is very cool.
that.
It comes
Wow.
on a little
Did you-
stand.
I'm not.
I got
mine's
my
not going well.
my background done. So this is like the whole stand thing for it, and then the ball rug and.
I have
That's
almost
so
one
cool.
toe.
So the frame is red.
It's hard to Lego when you're talking. I'm telling you, no one can do it. Everyone thinks it's no big deal, but when they get up here, they're like, "That's really hard to do."
Well, and it's
Also,
so funny because I would sit at the store and we would have like the Lego movie or something playing on
Yeah.
the TV, and I'd just be sitting there because some days you go to work but you don't like really want to be at
Yeah.
work. So I'm like, I'm just gonna build some Lego sets, right? I'm still doing a job, but I'm just like gonna build some sets. So I could like listen to the movies in the background and
Yeah.
still
I'm gonna
build.
watch-
But this
I'm gonna
is
watch
like,
the Lego movie.
talking, but you
like
weren't
I'm
talking.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
This
it's the
I'm
talking.
struggling right here.
I'm enjoying
Almost-
it though. I like the you know,
almost
like
one
okay,
toe.
it's
Almost-
like
almost
it's
one
like a
toe.
game. Like can I understand what's going on and also get this done? Like
But I'm
I-
also like, trying to read the chat.
oh, see, I
Right?
Yeah, I ignore
love
the
that.
chat. That's why we
I'm
brought
not-
Wendy on. Valhalla
Yeah.
and I did this a couple of times, and we realized that we needed a third person that wasn't going to build and to
Yeah.
read the chat and ask the questions, because
That's
I've
actually
gotten
smart.
really good at just like looking at the set and then talking and listening.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to really be interactive, and that's why like I stopped building when I was asking you about the
Yeah.
U-Haul trucks and the storage units,
Yeah.
because you can't focus and then build.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine trying to build and answer questions and also not get sued. That'd be
I love it. Also, they're starving. They haven't eaten yet.
So
I know.
we can cut it off here. We don't have to go until you guys finish your set, because obviously Valhalla's not going to finish tonight.
No, I mean we're okay. My kid has has an appointment at 6 a.m, and I have to get up at 6 a.m. because I work tomorrow.
Sure.
So like we can't go until
So
I'm halfway through bag 2. So like
I started on bag 7. The last one was 17. So I went through 7 bags. Wow.
I'm halfway through. I'm not even halfway through bag 2.
through 7 of
These
8.
guys can build a multi-hundred, 2,000, 3,000 piece set easy in 2 hours. These two.
I mean, I used to be a professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
One of
they're
my
not
most
reading
fun
chat.
builds-
They're
If you
not-
don't use it, you lose it, kind of thing, right?
Well, that's one of the like what could be the most frustrating would sets come in like in a bulk, and it would be a part, and they'd be a bunch of them mixed together, and you've got to go through and like pull out the pieces and stuff and then try to build them. Was awesome. One of my favorite and least favorite builds at the same time. I loved it and I hated it with every fiber of my being. Was the very first Millennium Falcon set in the flip top box.
I like that one.
I had to build it 3 times.
Well, I built it once, and then I hung it on my wall, and then I
Yeah.
just look at it.
I built
I
it,
dropped something.
tried to put it on a shelf, dropped it, rebuilt it, made it to the shelf, went to show a customer, dropped it.
oh,
What's my
built
most
it.
frustrating one?
Havoc wants to be
I
and
did
then, yeah, 3 times.
The Milky Way. Did you ever build the Milky Way?
I currently have it.
I
I
want it.
have it
It's really cool. I got it
In
for my birthday.
I
a few
want
months
chunks.
ago.
I have it in chunks, and I have to like it was.
Which one is it?
It was one of those
The
ones
Milky Way.
that like it was one of those ones that came in months before this all went down. And it came in on a store buy, and it came in broken in parts and then in bags. So it was like partially he built like the first bag. And so that's one of those that I was like, I'm gonna buy this one from me. And so I have it, but it's in like all the parts are mixed together.
Ooh, that's
So you can't just open bag by bag and build it. And so I'm just like, it's just sitting there. Maybe eventually I'm going to put it together. But at this
Yes.
point, when you don't have it in individual bags, it's going to be,
It's
a
extremely
disaster.
tedious. You can see the little,
yeah.
like the you
The
have
tiny
these little
little
squares, and you build on each
Oh,
one of these little squares,
yeah.
and then you assemble it. but
Yeah.
it's like so tedious.
Oh yeah.
If you look at this,
Yeah.
it's really cool from a distance, but that's how it looks, and it's
Oh yeah.
extremely
Once you
tedious.
get up close, it's tiny pieces.
Yeah.
So like it's in a bag. I'm listen, maybe when I retire.
I was making such good progress and I dropped a piece.
That's
Oh
always
yeah, yeah,
happens.
that'll miss you.
David,
This is what it looks like on my wall, though. It looks it's not my wall.
That's-
It is.
I mean, it's
It
an
is.
awesome set.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Oh no.
I don't
looks
know.
very Swedish in that
It's-
decor over there.
Is there anything that you guys want to put out there and get out there? Some maybe misnomers, or some things that you feel
She's
like
not
some parts of
Amanda.
the story that
I'm not Amanda.
that maybe people are getting wrong.
It's
That's
not.
exactly what I was going to say. She's not
That's
Amanda.
me on all the social media pages from the Bricks and Minifigs from the Salem store. Stop being mean, right?
Yeah.
No, I
Mean.
just like. Here's the thing: is they created a mess. They went against their own franchise agreement and created a mess.
Yeah.
And then they're trying to blame me for the mess they created and the mess they could have not only could they have prevented it, they could have clarified with me at any point. They could have, when Brian showed up, not been, I don't know if I can curse. I don't know if it's going to get, I
You can
don't
curse.
No, you can curse. We do it all the time.
You could have not been a complete and utter fucking prick when Brian showed up in the first part. I should have clarified where I even censored myself a little bit. That was not the word I was going with. But there's so many steps of the way in which every single person, Josh, Brandon, Ammon, Matt, Kai, Reed, and what's his name, Brimhall, the other owners of the company, every step of the way they could have done something different. Every step of the way they could have went, maybe how can I not be right? And then
They definitely took the wrong turn with
blaming
every
me for
opportunity.
this, right? And then continuing to blame me for this. If there was something, if they had come in and done an inventory evaluation when we signed over when they took over the store, right? None of this would have happened. If there was mess ups in my bookkeeping, if Brian hadn't been paid for stuff, I would have found it. Our corporate required a year-end inventory from every store every year, required to turn it in on December 31st. They came in on November 14th. On halfway through December, I would have started going top to bottom in that store and inventorying literally every minifigure part down to the smallest detail. That would have been caught. Our consignment agreement would have ended January 31st, and I would have gone through the inventory in the book. Every step of the way, they created issues, did nothing to fix their issues. And I don't understand it.
And
I just want to pull this up. I just love this. So this is one of your posts from the Lego collection.
Yeah.
And all of the comments are from a couple of, there's one from but most of them are like, I say we sue. Aren't those stolen?
Yeah,
give them back to Brian.
Yeah.
All these comments are awesome.
Yeah.
check the
Look
date.
at that. Look at that.
Right?
Awesome
I
collection.
posted that. There's it's insane. It's and if you've ever anybody who's been in a Bricks and Minifigs store knows that our retired set section is tiny. We had to keep them separate from the current sets by our agreement. And so
Look at that.
massive.
I want all of this.
My
Oh, yeah.
son wants all of those.
Yeah.
I pay a lot of money for that.
Well, he has. No, he
We're
doesn't.
back on track, y'all. I put it back together.
Good job, Paula.
Yeah.
I got
No,
one
it
bag
was,
left.
His lips are so chapped.
yeah.
Can I bum your
So
head?
Oh yeah.
To
You
find
need a
the missing
flashlight.
you're still looking for your piece?
Poor
Yeah.
Benjamin.
I got stuck because
I mean, we got to find it before one of the dogs eats it. So
Yeah, that's fair. Another good thing about doing this in a treehouse far away from the dogs.
I
Don't have to worry about that.
Hi.
I'm just happy I finished this set because this thing, I started it just on my own and then I didn't get a chance to finish it. And then I started when this whole bricks and minifig thing started. I was like, all right, well, I'll finish this while I'm doing these streams. We've done like 8 of them now, and I still haven't finished it. I just finished it now, so that's good. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Like I can do a
Oh my
skid.
God,
That seems cool.
dogs. Boy, you
find
like
So
animals
nothing.
all over there.
To show you, I know exactly what I'm missing. I'm missing this, and it fell, and
what?
this.
That sucks for you.
I know. Black and small as
Listen,
necessary.
sometimes
He
there'll
was
be extra
so
pieces.
sweet.
Sometimes there'll be extra pieces. There's not going to be
There's
an
no
extra
way there's
one
going
of
to be an
those.
extra one of these. It's one of the ones that's got the.
It's one of the little
visible.
Technic connector pieces.
Yeah, it's the.
Oh,
Did.
that sucks.
Once we're
That
done,
does
hold
suck.
on.
We'll find it. I'm
Yeah.
just trapped. I'm frozen in my progress now. We'll find it later.
We'll find
No
it.
worries, no worries. We're gonna end the stream now. I appreciate you guys coming
Thank you
on.
so much.
Oh, this has
Um,
been a
Yeah,
ton
no,
of fun.
of
Thank you for
course.
having
Both
me.
Yeah.
lovely, just lovely.
You know what? I'm gonna push back a little bit. I've got one bag left, man.
All right, we'll keep going. We'll keep
Okay.
going. You got one bag left. Finish your build.
We're back on
gonna
track,
jump
boys.
off
Let's
and-
go.
and-
Catch up with you.
And crawl around on the ground. I can't.
You're gonna make him crawl around on live stream.
Okay, well,
That's
just
what
in
you're
time
doing.
I'm not
for
gonna do it.
that. Okay,
Listen,
Army of
she's not
Meows
doing it.
with a
It's okay.
$5 super chat. Q for Gormans. How did the takeover work? I owned a pizza franchise before, and the agreement was branding only. How did BAM take the lease, inventory, etc.?
So that is a good question.
It is a good question. Just
I
I
owned. We purchased not only the LLC but everything in the store: the fixtures, the electronics, the operating equipment,
And the lease.
everything.
Oh, and the lease?
Should
Well,
have been given the lease.
in the franchise agreement, there is stuff in there that if you are purchasing a pre-existing location, it is corporate's responsibility to get a hold of the landlord and have the lease transferred over to you. Ben and I signed paperwork within that franchise agreement that they were then supposed to send to the landlord, that they never sent to the landlord. And so that night where they showed up, Kai McAllister in that phone call says, well, we technically still own the lease on the building, so you have no rights to remain there.
Ooh, dirty.
And that's kind of one of the bases of our lawsuit is you created the problems that you then used as a way to terminate our agreement.
dirty.
Well, that's also
Which-
similar what happened to the guy in Florida.
Except they left him with the lease and what was it, $50,000?
Yep.
500.
500,000.
500,000.
half
Yeah.
$1,000,000.
Yeah,
They,
in back
they,
rent. Yeah,
they fined him out of about $120,000 worth of merchandise and then stuck
Yeah.
him with the $500,000 lease on top
Yeah.
of that.
yeah.
Which, by the way,
Right.
as a landlord of commercial property, that number doesn't seem right to me.
It was,
I mean, it depends. It genuinely
I mean,
depends on where.
What if it's a
I don't let
10-year
anyone-
lease?
I don't
Yeah,
let anyone
10-year
get
lease.
behind 1
He
month.
only operated it for a year, Wendy. It's a 10-year lease. Let's say it's $50,000 a year. That adds up to me.
We were in a
No, no, I'm saying
5-year
as a landlord, as the owner of the commercial real estate, I don't let anyone get behind 1 month. Like that doesn't.
Oh, our landlord did not have that
No.
same belief system, and then would not let me know because
Oh,
we
yeah,
were
no.
on the lease.
With
They were
them.
communicating with corporate,
Yeah.
but we were
Camelot's
locked into.
incoming.
We were locked into a
nice.
5-year lease, and we were about 2 years into it. And I'd actually had a conversation with Matt
That's
McNeff
crazy.
about all of these issues with the landlord, and had a conversation about like, is it worth making the attempt to try to break the lease to get out of that location? Because not only security issues, but also like it was a crappy location.
Yeah.
No foot traffic. Yeah. So
It was one of those ones where it was chosen.
I don't know why it was chosen.
I think it was chosen, significantly before, back when the person who picked it was like, this is going to be like a train hobbyist shop. Like it's
Yeah.
the kind of place where the only people who will
Yeah.
come here are people who know, because it wasn't, Lego hadn't blown up to what Lego is.
Yeah.
Well, and
Right.
When was that?
franchise
When was that
wasn't
location
sized.
first established as a bricks and minifig? Do you know?
2015, 18.
Okay.
I'm not certain. I'm not
Well
certain.
before her time being there. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I know the information is publicly out there. There's a Statesman Journal article out there talking about like the launch of the store that has the date. I don't remember the exact date. Yeah, I don't know.
So, were there any sets that were sold prior to the takeover that Brian was not compensated for that you're aware of?
I mean, yes, that in that video you see me at the register saying he's not been paid for that last month's stuff. And in CoffeeZilla, as I'm trying to look at his spreadsheet and go, anything before this day would not have been updated in that spreadsheet. Brian was coming in the next day. I would have come into work the next morning, pulled those tickets from the POS system under those specific inventory items, updated that spreadsheet, and then written him a check, and he would have come to pick it up that night. So there's absolutely items that had sold in that previous month, and actually the previous 2 months, basically with that 3-month breakdown, that like he had not been paid for. And I have no idea what it is because I don't have access to any of that data.
Those were sold, not layaway, correct?
Yeah, well, sold. Some of them may have been layaway, which I would have discovered. Like if anybody had completed their layaway payment, that would have been tucked into the layaway things, and I would have gone through those tickets as well and marked anything on layaway as sold.
How many layaway things were there? Because CoffeeZilla talked about it, and there was like some confusion about it.
I've gotten some comments online from people that are like, that seems really sketchy. There was even one guy who was like, if I knew about this, I would go put a bunch of them on layaway and then list them all on eBay and then sell them on eBay and then go pick them up. I don't understand how that would work because you wouldn't make any money. But the amount of space that we had in the store to display retired sets was a fraction of the wall space. And we had more than just Brian's collection in retired sets. We had any of the other retired sets that we would have bought in other buys, any of the sets that retired in the span of when we were in the store. So we're talking about a fraction of a section, right? So we could at most display maybe 8 to 10 of Brian's sets at once, more probably 15 to 20 if they were small sets, right? So it's a small amount of the overall inventory. So for me we have more sets than we could possibly display. Somebody comes in and says, I love these 5 sets. Can I put them on layaway? Absolutely. We'll put them off to the side. We won't put them out on the shelf. No big deal. Like that part of it, I am apparently a very bad business person for being like, my customers are awesome. I'm going to accommodate them. Like I've been getting those kind of comments, but these were kids. These were Star Wars collectors, fanatics that were like, I've never had the opportunity to see the set in person. I want a chance to be able to buy it, but it might take me 3 months to get paid up enough to
see. That's something that I would do. I have a Star Wars room in my house. Like the family room is all Star Wars, and it's all Star Wars Lego as well as some other things. So I definitely would have done that, and I could see the appeal of that.
Yeah. Well, and somebody even in the comments saying it only hurt Brian to have anything on layaway. It absolutely did not. Wow. We had more inventory than we could possibly display out on the sales floor. We had far more inventory in Brian's collection than could ever be displayed on the sales floor. That's why on the launch, we had to take our entire party room and fill it. And that wasn't even all of the sets. There were duplicates of a bunch of those. So it didn't take away from any of his sales to go, here's 50 or 60 or 90 that we're just not rotating because we're only rotating 20 every week or so. Like it's one of those, like, I don't know. Maybe I made a bad call as a business person, but my customers were asking for it. I genuinely cared about my customers. and tried to be as accommodating as possible. Like that's apparently makes me a crappy business person, but I'd rather be a decent human being. Like, I don't know.
So Cody is asking about layaway after the store was taken. Cody, go ahead and chat again. Put it in there again. That's sort of our general rule here, by the way, is that if you guys have a legitimate question, go ahead and ask it multiple times. We're not going to get upset.
Yeah,
if
we don't
get
care.
to it.
Yeah. We've also got more super chats to read. I
do want to address this since Valhalla's showing his thing. That's awesome. Could they just refuse to leave during the takeover? We did address this earlier, and I believe Benjamin and Crystal both said, like, in hindsight, we probably wouldn't have left.
Yeah.
You know, they would have forced the police to arrive, or
it would have been
something
so much better, but we did not.
Yeah. And it's,
I
mean, big part of that,
like,
big part of
I'm
that
not
is
an
just
expert.
shock,
we'll get a lawyer,
right?
And a lawyer will tell us the best way to handle this. Let's not get arrested.
Yeah.
And you know, in retrospect, like if we'd pushed it that night, I think it would have been better. But my impulse, as opposed to everyone else in this process, it seems, is get a lawyer and get their advice and do what they say.
Well, and I'm guessing I can answer the question that Cody was probably trying to ask, because he's not the first person that's asked. I've actually seen 2 questions come through in the chat that I'd like to address.
Oh, go ahead.
So like he's asking, I think I'm going to presume he's asking like what happened to the items that were, to the items on layaway after they kicked us out. I don't know. I genuinely do not know. I had records. I had envelopes for each individual person with their contact information in a drawer under the register. I am hoping there is one person in particular, but like I am hoping they start reaching out to me. I'm going to do a personal call out right now. Walker, if you are watching this, or if your parents are watching this, or if anybody that knows you is watching this, please reach out to me.
Or your brother, Texas Ranger.
Yes.
I mean, he was a kid. He had the Ewok Village and a couple of other sets on layaway, and would come in and put as much money as he could down whenever he could. And
they steal from young people too.
Oh yeah, I mean, he was. I don't want to out his age, but I think maybe 13, 14.
Oh, come on!
I'm really bad at ages. If you're watching this, or if anybody knows you as Walker.
We want to know if you got your money.
Like, send me a DM. There's contact links in my link tree, please. I genuinely don't know. I don't know that I have a lot of faith in Josh and Brandon to honor any of those. I haven't been reached out by anybody in person. Ben and I have already had conversations about maybe once this whole thing is all over, we'll do an announcement, and we'll have like a public gathering in Salem somewhere. I would love to be able to say, hey, everybody come and like say goodbye to me in a way that's not, oh, sorry, she was selling heroin out of the store and stealing Lego to fund her addictions, right? And anybody that had those consignment agreements could actually.
Okay. Wait, hang on. I got to get back to the heroin thing, because that's amazing. Scorpio was saying he meant from my legal standpoint. Well, I think if the cops would have shown up, they would have told Brandon to get lost, and you can't change the locks,
which is entirely possible. I
think so.
I don't know.
I think you're right. I think.
I think that's what be like. Hey, we've been operating the store for a number of years. This guy says he's coming down from corporate and taking it from us. We're saying no, and the cops would have been like, "All right, well, they're obviously operating the store. You need to go. And if corporate's got an issue, then it's a civil matter." That would have, again, hindsight, right?
The consignment sets were in the store. Yes. The layaway sets were in the store. Yes. I feel particularly bad for Walker because he had the Ewok Village, and that's my.
It's a cool set.
That's my ultimate. It's my all-time favorite set. It's my dream set one day, which I've actually owned it 4 different times. But then people would come into the store, and I would talk about owning it, and they'd be like, "Can I buy it from you?" And I'd be like, I want to keep my set, but yes, I want to make people happy.
Customer
selling for $1,000, $620 to $1,000. The Ewok Lego set is.
Wow.
One day.
David or Valhalla, do you want to read the rest of these super chats?
I sure can.
Thanks, babe.
Wait, hang on. I want to show this thing. Look at this thing. This thing is
It's really
awesome.
cool set.
It's
Oh,
so
I want that.
Oh my, I want it so. I have a couple of the figures from it from like different time periods, but I want it so bad.
I'd
When did
almost
that set
rather
come
buy
out?
this than the Death Star right now.
Yeah,
It's such a cool and
I love the
there's-
bridge.
There's a couple of the Ewok figures. I cannot remember their names in particular, but there's one figure in there. It's the pale guy. You just had the mouse on him. Right there. That guy, he's like $70, $90, something like that. Because he's exclusive to that set.
Oh,
Yeah, it's one of those two Ewoks standing. I don't remember if it's the white one or the gray one with the orange next to it. It's one of those two. But I mean, I still got it's wicked. I mean, it's I wanted to build that in my backyard as a kid. I still want to build that in my backyard. I don't have a backyard.
In the backyard. Yeah.
you should just make your whole backyard an Ewok.
Into it, right?
Yes.
Oh,
I want to come over and play in there too.
oh.
I'd spend a lot of money on that.
Oh, yeah. I found like really good deals just like scouring online and I would find like really good deals and I'd be like, finally I have it. And then I make the mistake of talking to a customer about it going, yeah.
Okay, I have a question about the heroin thing. This came up like heroin is so out of the blue for me.
Why heroin? Yeah, that's like their
I mean, not in Portland. It's not.
Is there something about the area? Is there something
Maybe
like
that's
you
what it is.
said?
No, it's legit.
No, because it can't be a Portland thing or an Oregon thing because they use that as their accusation
in Utah too.
True.
Yeah.
Car.
What's
You're
the-
right.
It's
Is
a
this a
BAM
object-
thing. Like they are.
I mean,
When they're
it's
making false
a
accusations,
Josh thing.
Maybe
It's a-
it's a Josh thing, but that's Josh's. Like go-to false accusation is heroin. Why heroin?
Is that guy as absolutely unhinged as he appears to be?
I've
We've
never met him.
Okay.
What I've seen on video, yes.
He
Listen,
seems absolutely out of his
I
mind.
take prescribed meth, which
You can word that
I
differently
could
now.
word that differently, but I'm not going
ADHD
to.
meds.
I have
ADHD meds.
ADHD.
Yeah.
My medication is called methylphenidate. I like to go into the pharmacy and just be like, I'm here to pick up my meth, please.
That's
because
so
I like
cool.
people.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Funny.
But that's like my sense of humor. But like heroin, like no.
it's just.
You're clearly,
I mean, that's not a go-to. Like, if I was gonna be like, "Oh, this kid's got drugs on him," I'm not gonna go to heroin or to.
Right?
I mean,
You
it's
know.
made a huge comeback, by the way. It's
Has
big.
it? Like
Oh, God,
I would have
yes.
gone. He's
You
a
need
meth head. He's a
friends,
pot
maybe.
head. He's a. I would have
Because
gone to that.
People can't get their opiates anymore. They can't get the pills anymore. A lot of those pill
Yeah.
farms have been shut down, so they're just going to the heroin now.
listen, my brain is already like it's already got enough stuff going on here. I don't need to add any other kind of drugs into the mix here. I have no idea where that comes from.
Isn't heroin the opposite of meth? I have no idea.
I have
Yes.
no idea.
Yeah.
It is.
You need to let
I
Holly
don't
those
know.
super chats, Dave.
Well,
Well,
according to BAM, you should know, and you do know.
It's our entire
Apparently-
business plan, according to BAM. I'm like,
Listen, if I was dealing meth out of the store, I was clearly doing a really bad job.
yeah,
of
we
it
would have
then.
a lot more money if we were dealing drugs. So that would have been, a very different life.
Right?
I don't know.
I'm not
Do
sure.
we
if
have any more
this is
super
the
chats?
piece.
There's a bunch of stuff back here. What do we got? We got Bazinga.
I like how StreamYard now shades the
Yeah.
text if it's been pulled up. That's
I
nice.
love
It looks
that.
like we pulled up everything.
No, we didn't.
Oh,
Oh, so we're
Look at
so
the
we're
blue
here.
one under.
So,
Okay.
Yep. No.
No. Oh, you know what? It
This one
must
right
only
here.
let me
Sorry,
do it.
Sorry.
It must only delete it from my perspective because
What you all
That's
excited
the
to
bottom.
do after the case is done? Oh, what are you all excited to do after the case is done? Thank you very much for the $2.
Listen, I'm gonna put down my phone and I'm gonna take like a week's break from all social media.
Well, this actually brings me to a question for, the attorneys.
But then
in the
we're gonna
room.
go to Legoland.
Yeah, like,
It seems fitting.
we don't have a clear sense of what we should even be asking for in terms of defamation or expecting in terms of defamation.
Oh,
$1
Oh.
billion.
Like that, you know, do you go in and say, okay, you know, making people all over the
Yeah.
world think that you're a terrible manager,
Well, a liar,
you know,
a thief,
and a liar,
a
and
heroin
Yeah,
addict.
heroin addict, like what is
Their
the-
actions made you a public figure
Yeah,
for the
you
entire
didn't ask for that.
world.
Yeah, you
Like
didn't
they-
ask to be a public figure.
Didn't you?
Your
Oh.
punitive damages could be absolutely
I'm
astronomical,
telling you,
especially if they involve a RICO. If they actually get charged with RICO and get found guilty of RICO, it's never RICO. It's never RICO. But if that actually happens, it triples all of the money involved. Triples.
Yeah.
So if you're warranted, you know, $1.5 million punitive damages, whatever the cap is in Utah, that's a different story, I guess. But you could be looking at 3 times as much.
Yeah. So the answer to the question of what will we be doing afterwards gets to the place where it's like dreaming, because we have no concept of what to do with $3 million. So like,
Sailing
let's-
on his super
you know,
yacht, eating his
I
grape out
know,
of
like I
somebody
don't
else's
know,
hands.
you know,
Ben
we have-
doesn't
I'm
like
public
the
school
water.
teacher.
He's afraid of sharks.
Save,
My
save
vote,
your money.
my
Yeah.
vote is building an Ewok village in the backyard.
Apparently in Ewok Village, that's new, but
That's a good
okay.
goal. That's a good goal.
You'll
You know,
live another
treehouse
40
studio
years.
sounds very
Money.
cool.
You could have a little treehouse. I don't know. I genuinely think this is all over. I leave my phone at home and we take a little mini vacation. We go
have
to
talked about
Legoland.
one of the
Yeah,
things
you
we've
gotta
talked
do
about
that.
doing is going back to Spain as a vacation.
I was
without
just
the
about to
stress
speak, yes.
Mexico.
So
and
where
having a different
where
experience.
in Barcelona did you live?
Okay, we had the coolest place. Like, so we lived right off La Rambla. So if you go
Okay.
to
Yeah.
when you were there, when you were on La Rambla, did you go just off La Rambla to the Plaza
Plaza Real.
Real? So it's got
So
a smaller fountain and a bunch of hotels like around it and a bunch of little cafe.
so I stayed in the immigrant district. So if you're standing at Columbus
Yeah.
with your back to the harbor and you take the 2nd Street to the left and you go up, and that's sort of the immigrant district towards where the fort is and stuff.
El
up there.
Doral. We lived
That's
there
Yeah.
for one of our places.
Our
We were-
first
Yeah.
Airbnb was
We
right.
stayed there
right
for
in
like
there.
9 days, just
Yeah.
like living amongst the community. It was awesome.
Okay, well, and one of the funny things is there, you know, when you talk to the locals, they'll say, "Oh, that neighborhood,
So
it's
dangerous.
really dangerous."
It was awesome.
Oh my gosh! No,
I mean,
then-
we
then-
did have one man yelling all night long at a tree, but
Did you
beyond
tell him
that,
I was just living in Kaiser, Oregon? Step off.
Well, that's the
That's what I
thing.
would've told 'em.
You then press them and you say, "What do you mean it's dangerous?" And they're like, "People get mugged there occasionally."
And then like people
And-
get shot here.
Yeah, at knife point, there's no guns
daily.
So, like the big danger, but and the other thing they would say is,
we had no
"Oh,
issues.
you might get your, they might pick your pocket if you live in that neighborhood."
It
And
was
we're
a
like,
pickpocket issue.
if if your biggest danger in your country is pickpockets, you're
No
doing
kidding.
okay. You know, the
Yeah.
criminals who don't want you to know they're
it's
there.
so funny because we lived in like the dangerous part of Barcelona, right, for a year with nothing. We've lived in our current apartment for less than 6 months. And there was somebody murdered
Like a
super
full-on
close.
murder in our building.
No, I wasn't gonna do that.
Hmm?
I wasn't gonna say that part of
Oh.
it.
Full on murder.
Yeah,
Close to us.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I mean, what's the more dangerous?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We got T-Rex Travels for $4.99. So is BAM the main name on the lease, and you guys as the franchisees are the co-signers, or is it vice versa?
So on the lease itself, the lease is signed between the owner of the building and the BAM franchising. So the
Okay.
corporate franchising LLC, because they signed the lease when it was a corporate owned store. So we're
Okay.
not anywhere on the lease at wherever. They were
Okay.
supposed to send the paperwork to the landlord, like to the property manager, and have themselves taken off the lease and us put on the lease.
And they never did it.
And they never did it.
Okay.
And then use that as a pretext to say, because you weren't on the lease, we get to take it back. That was their
Nice.
action. That was their choice.
Yeah.
Army of Meows. I guess $5. Thank you very much. Theory: BAM franchisees buy inventory in losing stores, then BAM take over the inventory for free when they are financially distressed. Sound right? It sounds like the MO to me, anyways. Does that sound consistent with you guys?
We don't know about in other cases. We only know ours.
Like
but
a
that's what happened to
pattern.
us.
I mean, that
Sounds
seems
like
what
a lot of
happened with
stories I've heard.
Yeah, exactly. Also,
Yeah.
I do want to do a what's his name? I keep calling him the Florida guy, but
Last relic.
Relic. The last
yeah,
relic. Thank you.
the last relic actually messaged me on X. He says
Louis?
he's down
Nice.
to do an
The
interview.
Florida
and stuff,
store
so-
guy.
Yeah. So cool. We'll make
Florida
that happen.
Lego Man.
Florida
Yeah,
Lego
Florida
Man.
Lego
you go.
Man. Yeah.
Sorry.
And we got a member chat.
It was right there.
I like it actually.
Oh.
Thanks for having Ben and Crystal on tonight, and thank you guys for coming on tonight. I think this was
It's
awesome.
been a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Now
Well,
I'm gonna
and
have to find the
also, like-
missing piece so I can finish this.
Also, like, thank you for being so patient and waiting until CoffeeZilla's video came out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
because we did. Like, we offered him the
Like we had a
exclusive,
choice.
Right.
I mean, yeah,
But you're welcome.
we kind of that the amount of times he would jump on another record and be like, am I ever gonna finish this thing? Because it's just, more and more.
We
and
heard
more.
that it was in the works, and
Yeah.
then someone had asked me in a chat if there was going to be any interviews of you guys before our stream, and I was like, I don't know
Yeah.
when things are coming out, but
Yeah.
no, so the timing worked out good.
He didn't even want us to tell anybody that we were. People speculated once he did that tweet about like reaching out and talking to everybody involved, and didn't mention us, but he also like did. We agreed we won't mention we're on the show. We won't like anything.
So we were doing some, like, we're gonna be on a show. It's somebody big, like, like
yeah.
No, that's really cool.
Well, we were so happy to meet you. You're both just lovely.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you for bearing with my work schedule.
Well,
'cause
we'll have to come back
course.
when this thing is like resolved. That would be really cool to come back.
Hell yeah. Well, we've had guests on before that haven't finished their sets,
That's true.
2 or 3 times.
That's
so
true.
if you guys ever want to come back,
Well,
we'd love to have you
I'm
back.
finishing this tonight. Like, I will not sleep.
absolutely-
I
until-
love it, Benjamin. You're going to be up for today's.
there is somebody in the comments that says if I don't know if I'm breaking protocol here. I'm sorry. I'm
Oh,
also
no.
reading- I'm not, like,
You
good.
reading
There's
the
no
comments.
protocol
You're
here.
the guest. You're the
Listen,
guest.
there's somebody in there who was like, I'm sorry if my questions came off really like hard tonight or harsh tonight. He's already gone. I can't read the name.
Oh,
You know who you are, right? But like, no, ask the hard questions.
Yeah.
Right. If I'm deflecting the hard questions, ask me why I'm deflecting the hard questions. Right. Don't apologize for asking difficult questions. Like, you didn't come off as a jerk. I totally understand it. There's so much going on. Like, don't apologize to me for that. I just wanted to be sorry. He was like, I feel bad. I
You.
Yeah. Don't feel bad.
He's like, I'm asking.
Well, I
difficult
did a promo
questions.
and I said, ask them
And
whatever
I'm
you
like,
want.
Dude, yes. Ask me the
That's-
difficult questions.
Yeah, you guys, this isn't scripted. There's no pre-arranged topics off the table. Like we literally invited these guys to come sit down and just have a conversation.
Yeah.
And they were all for it. So that's
This
Call
is
him
that's,
actually-
99. He's the one. The call him 99. Like, I'm not mad, dude. You ask
you.
ask the questions. Like, I'm not.
So
I'm very
Squash
impressed.
Any 6790 with 5 pounds. This is actually a really good point that part of CoffeeZilla's videos I wasn't quite on board with. And I think Valhalla and I sort of tackled this a little bit. But has anyone talked about how the U-Haul receipt from the coffee video shows 160 miles traveled, and the trip between Salem and Eugene is only 65 miles each way? We did talk about the distance. We're like, it's only an hour away.
yeah.
Has anyone looked into that and why there's so many miles?
We
Well,
have not.
my guess would be that he stopped at a storage facility of some sort, but I am completely
Or-
speculating, and these views are just my own and nobody else's.
I have no idea. I
Son of
do
a
not
bitch, you.
know. We went home that night after we left the store and cried. So I don't know. I don't know what he was doing.
He was selling heroin.
Yes.
Heroin.
I guarantee that's what was happening.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's
Oh
so
my
good.
god, that's so
We
funny.
needed
Does anyone
Thank you for
remember in
that.
Reckless Ben's video that a package that arrived in Eugene, that employees opened it and identified it likely as Brian's? Has that come up again? You know, I got to go back and watch the first video. I haven't watched it in like a week or so. Now that we have CoffeeZilla's video that came out and everything else that's come out, we've read through the lawsuits. I kind of want to go back to the original video. It's been so long. I got to check that out.
Well, what I've been speculating about a bunch today is Reckless Ben's third video, right? It was going to be super crazier than it has been. I think it's probably got to do with this RICO stuff that came out today on the Legally Mine.
Don't know, and I haven't seen it.
I'll send you the case. It's
People
wild.
ask me, they're like, "Do you know what's in the third?" I don't.
I think no, because I think he was already working on the third and was close to done before the RICO would have come out.
Yeah.
May have been
Well,
out.
no. I'm saying the previous RICO cases with the Legally Mine LLC.
Oh,
I think that's, and I'm speculating. I have no idea.
that
I've
does
never
sound right up his
talked to
alley. Like
Ben.
that's the kind of
Yeah.
stuff to investigate.
Yeah.
That seems like where this was leading to, right? And that seems like his
that's
where
in his bailiwick,
investigation
absolutely.
would have gone.
Yeah. Half Irish has a good point here. Remember, we have a Lego stream coming up this weekend, Saturday, with
We
Emily
sure do.
C. So
Sure do.
stick around for that. Hit the sub, hit the like, tell your friends about this show. Emily
notifications.
C is a YouTuber.
Another
covers a lot
liberal
of-
we're bringing on the show.
Look at
I
you
know,
guys
we're just full of
stretching, growing.
We're gonna take over.
Right.
Listen, it doesn't matter if you're liberal or conservative. We can all agree that like large corporations and the wealth and inequality in this country is the absolute.
Well,
crap.
and being able to
Like,
just
that's
run roughshod over people like this
Yeah.
is part and parcel of
Yeah.
the
When
system.
when you're BAM and you're running over people and Legally Mine LLC, and you're just bullying people out of their personal property and literally stealing retired people's IRAs.
yeah.
Look at the RICO case.
It's
Look
just
at the RICO case.
that's one of those things. People were like, across this party lines, we've all been in a position where we felt powerless at the hands of somebody else.
Don't F with Lego.
Well, don't also underestimate the power of social media and this getting out there.
Just
This
world
is done.
folks, Get
Yeah.
with it.
Um,
We appreciate you all so much. Thank you.
G-Rex Travels has another $4.99. Wait, is BAM suing you or are you all suing BAM? It seems like there's lawsuits every which way. So currently,
BAM.
they're suing BAM. BAM has mentioned them by name in another lawsuit involving Reckless Ben, but they are not named defendants.
Yeah.
And we have, I mean, again, speculation, but it seems to me BAM has a disincentive to sue us. Like they like threatening us, but I don't think they will like Discovery. Like Discovery is not going to be friendly to them. And so I think everything
all
is
their goddamn electronics.
expensive,
Oh my God.
keep it slow, keep it, make us pay as much as we possibly can in terms of keeping our lawsuit going. But I don't think they want to sue us because then we would go, okay, as part of our defense, you have to turn over the following documents.
Yeah.
So don't
But we have
forget
filed a lawsuit against them. So
that Benjamin's YouTube is linked in the description. I did not link your TikTok because I didn't know you had one until just today. But I'll try to find it and then put it down in there as well. Also, your GoFundMe is linked in the description. Guys, check it out.
Thank
It
you
is.
all
out
for
if you
your
can.
support. It has been so wonderful.
our lawyer is happy about that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that we can get paid.
yes, exactly. So that's what we got going on. I guess we'll end the stream now. Guys, if you want to stick around, we usually sometimes chit chat afterwards if you want.
Sure.
Thanks everybody in the chat for watching all of us.
We love
Appreciate
And
it, y'all.
we'll see you guys on Saturday. Bye.
Thank
Right.
you so much. Thank you.
Attorney in a suit and goats on the loose. divorced, he's sipping wine like there's no excuse. With Lego bricks stacked in a colorful haze, they're building dreams while the questions blaze. Brick by brick and word by word, secrets spill out as the pieces get stirred. From lawsuits to heartbreaks to stories of old, interviewing life while the sets unfold. Attorney holds a file, but now it's a brick. The farmer speaks wisdom that's earthy and slick. The ex pours her tea while she laughs at the jokes. Behind a strange world, there's magic it evokes. Flashbacks to courtrooms and fields of green, to Cali love lost in Lego scenes. Strangers pour out their life on the screen, in the strangest show you've ever seen. Brick by brick and word by word, secrets spill out as the pieces get stirred. From lawsuits to heartbreaks to stories of old, interviewing life while the sets unfold. Flashbacks to courtrooms and fields of green, to Cali love lost in Lego scenes. Strangers pour out their life on the screen, in the strangest show you've ever seen. Brick by brick and word by word, secrets spill out as the pieces get stirred. From lawsuits to heartbreaks to stories of old, interviewing life while the sets unfold. Plastic castles grow, but so do the stories. Tales of fame, past glory, and embarrassing stories. The goat farmer grins, says life's full of muck. The attorney replies, bet that's worth the buck. Brick by brick and word by word, secrets spill out as the pieces get stirred. From lawsuits to heartbreaks to stories